None of this shenaniganry telling me it's before the session. We've
You
started.
gave us false information.
Yeah, well, tough. You're going to court.
Agreed.
Hello,
I feel like
everyone,
I've
and
been
welcome to
rapid.
Crabby D&D. I'm here with Kat,
I'm first. Hi.
Kirv,
Hey.
Mortar,
Howdy.
Romulus,
Hello.
and Vinny.
Hello.
We are unfortunately missing a Beau today, but that is, it was something that I understood was going to be happening anyway, and will be happening at some point again next month, but for the time being, that is okay. So,
You don't have to arrest him.
no, you don't have to arrest him, he's fine.
He's already been arrested.
He'll be
As long as-
alright. Well,
Shush, shush, shush. Confidential.
Sorry.
Nah.
He'll be alright. So, let us begin. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you here once more. Let's get a quick reminder of what, or where, we are. Last session, our party of adventurers, Beau, Cat, Kirv, Mortar, Romulus, and Vinny had arrived in Braylin to return a bounty and meet up with Cat's grandfather in preparation for her court date. After what seemed like a tense but non-hostile introduction, Cat was pushed to her limits in facing the creature inside of her. With the aid of everyone, Cat managed to release her mother and father's souls from within the creature at the cost of Sicania's sentience. With the understanding of what she had accomplished, and the party now readying themselves for a day at court, and what their preparations have in store for the next few days, let's see how this goes. Last session, for you, Cat, you had otherwise rested up, you'd taken some time to kind of work with your grandfather in developing the ritual that you wanted to work on, and have done so accordingly. With that time spent with that, and Romulus fighting Harlan overnight as a test of strength to kind of understand the situations at hand, the two of you fought, but ultimately succeeded with it all. And Mortar gathering the rest of the band together, with Beau, Kirv, and Vinny, you hatched a plan to potentially pick up some espionage regarding the individuals that you will be being tried by, or judged by, should we say, within the court system. With that in mind, Mortar, you noted at the back of the room an individual, a kind of a lanky-ish individual, leaning up against the back wall, completely invisible compared to the rest of your friends, who had snuck inside the room and had been listening in, only to want to join your little escapade and plan when it began to unfold. As you each went your separate ways for the night, sleeping after the rather hectic day, recovering all of your hit points, all of your hit die and any points of exhaustion you might have, we'll move into the next day, with a plan generally between the four of you in place, or five of you, including one of Theomar's guards, Castor. Oh, I got wrong, it's Castor, not Casper.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Keep it as Casper.
No, you can call him Casper if you want, but he'll still respond to it.
Good.
As you all wake the next morning, Cat, you are the first to wake up. Being back in familiar territory, but still nervous, you don't get as much sleep as you would like, despite the levels of exhaustion that you otherwise may feel, but not be truly afflicted by, given the nature of everything. You spend the night having nightmares. You toss, you turn, you otherwise realize the pain of what you've done and how you are feeling not necessarily more vulnerable, but weaker than normal. As you're otherwise lying there, you dream about the horrors of things that have happened, about Shadowcloak and his death. You dream and have nightmares about the people of Yep, I forgot the name all of a sudden. The people of Lotus Dawn, when they passed during that dreaded incident. The people in Trenel's Rest, who passed due to quite possibly the release of a small piece of the creature that had embedded itself within a rat. The people who nearly died in Glasson when you lost control. The various individuals who have been frightened or threatened by your presence, even just walking by you. The individuals who have seen you as monster more than person. All of these nightmares are beginning to take hold and sap a little bit of life from you as you begin to feel a bit weak in one manner or another. I'd like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
I wake up in the morning and I die of heart attack. Oh, apparently I get to keep... I don't have heart attack. I'm at 21.
21? Okay. Despite all of this, you wake up feeling a little bit worse for wear and tired, but by no means truly affected by it.
Well...
But you are the first to
go
wake.
crawl out of bed and go to cast Titan armor, which fails because Psychania is currently not functioning properly.
Correct. As you go to cast Titan armor in that moment, you feel the weight kind of sluggishly on your arm as Psychania hangs from it, and previously the artifact had been weightless. A kind of a metal chain with crystalline head was carrying its own weight, and now you are having to carry it around like a leadened burden, and the spell doesn't go off.
Right. I guess I need to now make that stuff. Alright, so be it. I'm gonna go out into the main area and...
You go out into the main area. You see Hearn is sat there, kind of slightly leaned forward, eyes not quite fully closed, and as you enter, you watch as he kind of lifts his head and looks to you before kind of lowering his head back, as if getting some rest, but still remaining vigilant, despite everything. You see, at another section of the room, you see the... now that it's back to being a fully wooded floor, the tables have reappeared, along with a number of chairs and boards in preparation for individuals to come and sit. Breakfast has been prepared for everyone. You can see that Theomar is currently working on something on a blackboard off to one side, just kind of scribbling and writing, and doesn't seem to notice your entrance into the room. But you can see he has a half-eaten plate of breakfast next to him.
Okay. I will skew an apple with one of my tendrils and be like, Grandad, can I have a stone flat area? I can't cast spells. I need to build a what? My staff.
He turns around, otherwise looks at you, kind of lowers his spectacles. Good morning to you too, and of course, would you like it out here or in your room?
Here'll be fine. I can eat while I'm currently trying to build this.
And
have you slept?
As he kind of gestures his hand, almost not necessarily ignoring the question that you asked, but seemingly concentrating on this, he isn't able to make necessarily a stone surface, but you do get a blackboard that is actually the floor, which will do.
Okay. Sweet.
It's
Okay,
weird walking
then-
on a blackboard, but yeah.
You know, that's horrific. That's
Hmm.
bone scraping on blackboard. I can imagine that's got a nice sound to it.
Yes, it does.
I hope you lot enjoy your breakfast. And
It's
I'm
well
gonna
done.
start drawing the circle that's on my blackboard on the side of the table.
On the side of the table.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay. As you begin to prepare and put that into place, which I believe we checked the functionality of that, and that does work from the original setup of it. So,
Yes.
as you begin to draw it out and prepare it, Thamar doesn't necessarily ignore your question, it seems, but there is a sense of he lets you get back to work, and if you would like to press for the answer, if he has stayed up all night, you're welcome to, but...
I will do, but after
Mhm.
I've done this.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. I'll say the next two awake, probably also being exhausted in their own way. I'd probably say as Romulus in this instance. As Romulus, you've otherwise spent you've spent a lot of your energy feeling a lot of this emotional burden, this weight upon you, followed by a emotional and physically taxing combat with Hearn to show the general nature of your measure, your abilities, your skill. With that, you went back to bed and collapsed the previous night, completely exhausted from the whole situation, and wake in the morning to the sound of a bowl of water being placed in your room, and as you otherwise look up and over, almost ready to fight, you can see that there is a near invisible form of a wind elemental that is currently just kind of setting up your room with various towels, wash accessories, soaps, various conditioners and shampoos as well for the fur, along with what looks to be some nondescript and non-branded horn polish. As well as a wide variety of brushes.
I'm going to nod towards the near invisible figure and mutter a thank you.
It nods back, and with kind of a few motions, you watch as it floats back to one corner of the room, and you watch as it almost gets sucked into this almost completely see-through tube, and then shoots off. You know those suction tubes they used to use?
Tubes.
Yeah, pneumatic tubes. It goes into one of those and seems to disappear off before shortly returning with something that shouldn't fit within there. What looks to be a kind of a long kind of tin or pewter kind of kettle of some form before placing it down next to a few china cups that it pulls out of one of the nearby drawers, and then leaves you to your business as you can smell a fresh but welcome scent of a strong morning tea.
These rooms are fit for our individual purposes to a certain degree, correct?
Yes, everything is to your size, to your fit. There's a spare change
Is
of
there,
clothes,
by any
spare food.
chance, I was going to wonder about a change of clothes. Are clothes that are provided here capable of being taken outside and worn?
With the nature of how Thamar sets this up, so long as he is nearby, yes. They are treated as a pseudo-seeming spell, shall we say. But once you leave his vicinity, they will disappear.
Okay, thank you. That all the information I needed on that one. Thank you. I will get myself fit and ready. I think there is certainly a part of Romulus that would not be. Romulus will make sure that he is looking composed before going out. After everything that happened yesterday, in his mind, I think there is. It would not do to show weakness today.
Mm-hmm.
So, once I have made myself presentable, Romulus will step outside and attempt to find Theomar and presumably Cat.
Easy enough. As you step straight out of your door, you enter the main antechamber. You can see that there is a large circular section of blackboard on the floor, and kind of Cat is busy drawing a magical circle on the floor. Kind of Cychania dragging behind her a little bit, almost like scraping across the chalkboard or the blackboard as she does so. You can see Theomar's off to one side, and he's working on his own designs, but is otherwise currently focusing on eating a few of the last bits of his breakfast. And Hearn off to one side kind of lifts his head, looks at you, just kind of nods, and then seems to go back to his kind of nestled sleep.
Right. When I spoke with Theomar yesterday, he expressed that he was not necessarily skilled in enchanting, but provided us a place in which to head.
Depending on the nature of it, yes.
I would like to get his thoughts on things, as he is a knowledgeable scholar.
Mm-hmm.
So when he is free, I will be attempting a conversation.
Okay. He is currently working on, as you otherwise look at his blackboard, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. With disadvantage.
Give me advantage. You know I don't. That won't change how poorly this goes.
No, I know, but it means
I'd
that...
be lucky to get 2 1s. With zeros at the end, apparently. That's an 11.
11. You have no idea. You've seen Cat's spellbook. That's confusing. You look at this and you're like, nah, I have no idea. But it looks magical.
Alright, I'm going to stick to my runes.
You otherwise find a seat for breakfast waiting for Theomar. As you otherwise have a quick look around the room, it's fairly obvious to note, but you see that there are chairs that have been specifically placed or are otherwise in this space that are designed for everybody's particular physique. You see that there are holes in the back for tails for the tieflings within your party. There are cushions for those who are a bit more, how should we say, lively or fidgety, like Mortar and Beau. There is one that's bigger for you, and there is one that is more of a supportive beam for centaurs. As you kind of go over to the large, kind of tall armchair and take a seat, you can see that there is a plate of various foods from all over, but very much of a Beastlandic cuisine in a lot of senses. There look to be sources of just general fish in the early meal, some form of otherwise grilled or braised fish with complementary rice, a few vegetables to go with, and a soft, seemingly a white wine sauce of some form for early breakfast. Very soft, very refreshing, a little bit of, from what you can tell, kind of fruity elements that add this extra little bit of punch and freshness to it.
Lemon.
Probably a lemon, yeah. As you kind of sit down and enjoy it, you note that there is also, shortly after you've taken a seat, Theomar kind of trots over and puts a book next to you. I didn't have time to add this to your repertoire last night, so give it a read if you're interested. And
What does it say?
you can see on the front it is a description of giant runes.
Thank you. This will be highly useful.
Oh.
And I'm going to start flipping through.
You flip through to the first page and you see that this is a... You see the handwriting is very scrawled. It's not very neat by any sense of the imagination, but the language of it seems to be comprehensible, as this seems to be a collection of runes over the course of historical years by Hearn. And as you have a look through, You go through, have a look through the various runes from the different kinds of giants, the different runes of power, and how some are weak, some don't have or some have potential, but need more study and more work. And there are a lot of them as you go through that seem to be almost active annotations of what needs to be studied and what needs to be researched.
Excellent, Chris. I expect a fully written out version of this. I
Oh,
look forward
No,
God.
there will not be. However, what this book will allow you to do, at any point in time in the future, should you come up with a cool idea for a rune, you can throw that idea at me and we will workshop something.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to be working on the rune plans for this weird enchantment I've got working out in my head. Something that'll mesh well with it or help me create it. But absolutely, sounds good. So Thermar's still deep in his...
Well, he's handed you this book, so you have a moment when he's distracted from his work.
Thermar,
Yes.
you are a scholarly individual, well versed in magics and its many uses.
Indeed.
I have the item that I am wishing to have enchanted. I suspect it will be difficult, but I thought perhaps your expertise might help guide me towards creating it. I ask for your assistance in the idea that this will allow me to better care for Cat. Or
Understood.
Ellie, as you may prefer to refer to her as.
Whatever you're more comfortable with, and whatever she's more comfortable with.
I think you just both turned to look at Cat at that moment.
She
She's
is...
currently like concentrating on the floor doing the drawing. Her tongue
Yeah.
sticking out and everything, like full concentration face.
Yep. Do
Trying to
exactly
hold
what I do.
Titania up.
Yep.
I think either works. Right, so I'm just going to take him through my plans, like showing the ancient giant tooth, the leaf from the good suck plant, which we need a better name for that, and I'm hoping he can identify it. Maybe.
I was actually going to do a quick roll just to see if he would get this. So he has advantage on this because of his magic item, which is nice. That puts him at... 25. So that would do it, I'd say, with his nature check. As he looks it over, he holds the leaf up, and you see that there's kind of this immediate reaction where you can see kind of small, thin blue lines are beginning to head from his fingertips to the leaf itself as he holds it. But doesn't let go as he continues to look it over before kind of placing it down on the table next to you. This is what's known as an amina leaf. They're not often this mature, but they do exist outside of wherever you may have found it. They're not often cultivated. They're considered a green plant for various magical fallouts or spills, shall we say. With the wild magic nature of the Shattered Stones Mesa, these grow rife throughout it and are very dangerous for magic users who are trying to head through. They are more proactive, shall we say. This seems to be a earlier and slightly more timid version of its species.
I did not think it was unique, so just glad to know that there may be options to locate more. The thought is that I am vulnerable to magics, more so than Cat or others. Therefore, something like this could perhaps be used in the crafting process to create an item that will allow me a fair defense against it. Do you think it's possible?
It would be doable. The main thing to note is that it needs an outlet. Most of the time, the Amina leaf absorbs the magic and then would then use it to grow itself, usually ensnaring an individual, holding them in place while it drains them further, digesting them, their magic, if you will. For using it in enchantment, you're using a negative with a positive in this instance, trying to fix an enchantment based on something that would, by all accounts, drain the enchantment of its natural magic.
So it needs something to balance it out, essentially. Something to...
A binding
as it
agent.
drains it. Yes.
You will need some form of binding agent or emulsifier, something that will allow the two to mix without directly counteracting one another. The people the people far further north in Dagani are far more apt with this sort of craft than I would be. They are more akin to what Ellie is and what she has learned. They are far more akin to yourself and her in that relation as well.
Also, how do I spell how do I spell the name of that leaf?
Amina is Amina. Amina.
Mm-hmm.
Amina. I hardly know her.
I'm gonna steal your magic.
Auga.
There's nothing sacred anymore.
No.
No.
And
No.
you all asked for inspiration at the beginning of the session. You get
We
nothing.
deserved it.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Good day,
Hey,
sir.
sir.
Right.
Got my pack of teasers.
If a binding agent can be found, perhaps also with the usage of some sort of anti-magic rune, or perhaps not anti-magic, perhaps magic nullification rune. Do you think that this could be what I want it to be?
Could be achieved. Anti-magic is something that myself and Hearn have looked into, along with a number of our other associates. Tarscott, who Ellie is fairly familiar with, is somebody who has been studying a lot of this stuff in the past. They've been studying the weird and the wonderful variations of magic and how they apply to our systems, shall we say. She's been working on a project not far off of Mantle Rock, if you know where that is.
Not off the top of my head.
They've been working on understanding the nature of negative magic and how it applies, the nature and understanding of how a ley line is constructed and how it works, how it can potentially be harnessed, and how the wild magics can be controlled. The existence of negative magic is the idea of being able to devoid natural magic of its volatile properties. She might know more on the subject. She is much more an expert on this sort of thing than I would be. But it depends on what she would want to do.
What's that name and where to find them?
Tarscott works out of Mantle Rock, which, in terms of where it would be on the map, do you remember when you travelled through the Topaz Slopes to get to Stonehold Keep during your backstory?
Yes.
Instead of taking a right towards Stonehold Keep, you would take a left, continuing up the river and the other direction of the mountain line towards Mantle Rock. there you will reach a dig site called Zapa's Desolation, which is where Tarscott has been working out of. It's also relatively easy to get there via the ocean from Dust's Peak as well, which you could get there via boat from Hammerwind or Amber Port or anywhere in that matter.
So, or by boat from
Hammerwind or Amber Port. Hammerwind should be familiar to you as the place where Vinny has mentioned they are from.
And I believe it would also benefit us to go to Hammerwind to get to Dargami, right? Or Dargani?
Dargani is in the opposite direction to Dust's Peak.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'll say you're
But
shown
the
an
Hammerwind
illusory
would be the
version
place
of.
to go.
You're shown an illusory version of the map, and I'll say at this point that. Yeah, I'll get you a cut of the Beastlandic territories once I have gotten a appropriate cut from my document, and then I will send that in the group chat, and you'll all have a up-to-date version of the map.
Thank you kindly, much appreciated. Okay, I think that's that on that subject for now, because I doubt I'll be able to get much more. Yes, I think the only thing that Romulus will be attempting to do now is prepare going forward. And also make sure that Cat is still eating.
Okay. You see that Cat hasn't had a plate of food yet, and she is currently just sat on the floor, working on this. I'll say, Cat, you're probably about 60% of the way through at this point. I mean, it's a big enchantment circle. You've got all the ingredients that you need to worry about, and assembling it is going to take several hours. So,
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, you've started working on that. I'll say, after finishing off this conversation, the rest of your troops slowly begin to wake up and come out of their rooms one after another. Vinny, inside your room, you find a fresh bathrobe. Hot water has been drawn for you, along with various towels, what seem to be lotions for skincare, several for hair care, and what looks to be as it is currently marked, a set of unused kind of scissors for hair cutting, should you want, along with some horn polish of some form.
Oh, very nice. Yes, Vinny's appearance is often a bit of a rugged charm. We're on the road a lot, so I will take this opportunity to freshen up properly.
Okay. Same sort of thing is in your room as well, Kirv. As you wake, the same sort of thing is there presented for you: fresh lotions, fresh hair products, horn polish, all these things you've never seen before in your life. All you've gotten by with is a bar of soap.
As she looks at all these bottles, picking them up, turning around, see if there's any kind of instructions or whatever, takes a whiff. It's like, oh, that's nice. And then sort of a little bit of guilt comes up at just knowing that her family is back home and she doesn't get to share these kind of things with them. You know? So she'll stick to the soap.
Righty. You have a quick wash and you otherwise leave, seeing Romulus is currently reading and enjoying breakfast. Cat is making some horrific scratching noises on the floor with her bony hooves plus a large piece of jeweled chalk as she's been drawing it all a enchantment circle all across the floor. Mortar, in your room, as you wake, you have something similar. You have a full drawn bath. You have a bar of soap, various lotions for whatever you might need, and as you're going through, you see that there is also what looks to be a some form of like small square box device with this little bit of a tube that's coming out of the end.
Also, kind of picks up the tube and kind of looks at it.
It begins to make
Cocks his head to the side.
it almost begins to. You can feel
Sense
there is a
it.
current of air being pulled into it as you put your hand against the end, and it makes almost a sucking sound.
Mortar has an amazing idea. And it would cut, like you'd hear the sound of the Hoover going off, and it would cut to the outside of the door. Mortar would walk out, his hair is perfectly Jimmy Neutron.
Okay.
Wow.
As he put his hair there.
Okay.
But then he'll kind of catch himself and he'll kind of freak out a little bit. He'll run back in. He'll kind of look at the bath a little bit skeptically, like I wonder if they're trying to pass on a message. But he'll take it.
Okay.
He kind of feels himself begin to relax a bit, and you know it's nice to feel like he can actually relax. He tries kind of to work his way through the various products, trying to he's just like, where's the soap? Like, what are these? Like, is this for shots? Like, what do I use this for? It's like, what use is a candle in a bath? You can't use this in the bath. And he kind of smashes it on the floor. He's like, fuck this. He gets up, grabs a towel, rubs himself over once, gets dressed, walks down. He's still damp, and makes his way down. He's like,
Before you've gotten dressed, you are in the bath kind of inspecting all these products, and as you hear the sound of that machine going, and you kind of look around and you see this near imperceivable air elemental using it on your clothes. And you're not entirely sure what it's doing, but you can hear the sound of like, you know that sound of when you with a vacuum cleaner when you go over like dirt or sand or grit and it just kind of makes that grinding sound. It's doing that.
Yeah.
As they seemingly are the equivalent of delinting your clothes, but instead of animal hair, it seems to be all the sand and dirt that you've accumulated over years of not washing your clothes.
That's my sand and my dirt.
Oh,
No, he's like, you know what, I'll let this slide. This seems to be a hospitality thing, but I'm watching you. Don't get any funny ideas.
Yeah, the air elemental finishes off cleaning your clothes, and when you put them on, you feel soft. It's weird, it's very comfortable, it's nice. It's not gritty and scratchy anymore.
God, I hate it. Oh, where's my favorite scratchy part? He like turns like a certain way where it would always like he would always feel like really like rough areas of like just build up grime and everything is not there, and he's like, oh, I hate it here. And he'll grab his gun, kind of grumbling to himself, nice comfortable clothes, nice bath. Bullshit, I'm making it just fine on my own. And then kicks open the door in a really bad mood, walks his way down, massive smile on his face.
Okay. You head down as well as you all convene for the morning for breakfast. Thamar is busy kind of writing and scratching. You watch as the last to get up, Castor otherwise opens his door, stretches, looking all freshened up by all accounts, and you watch as he kind of walks down to the table and he sits down before kind of looking left and right. No drink this morning? Not for you. I heard you were out last night drinking aplenty. And Castor huffs a little bit. Fine. Before drinking what looks to be kind of a fresh mug of tea. Seems to take it in, and much like Mortar is a bit grumbly about the situation, but oh well. I'll say Beau probably at this point probably hands him his flask of whiskey and he takes it gladly and goes to drink all of it, but kind of realizes that it's not emptying and just keeps drinking.
I feel like Beau is always drunk.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Like, I'm sorry.
That's
Okay, obviously I'm slow on this one.
That's
But
that's kind of his thing. Like you can smell that.
he's
On
always a bit tipsy all the time. That's why he's just so like nonchalant.
That's why his aim's so
Why how he's
good.
getting on with the party.
Yeah.
Smells very flammable.
But he fights he fights demons for a living. You know, he probably needs to be drunk in order to do that kind of occupation.
They work with poisons, not fire. That would be devils if he was doing that. That'd be a very dangerous thing. Then again, he lights a
That'd be
cigarette,
very funny.
so you know.
All right.
Also on the edge.
So what's the plan then? Are we teleporting or are we sticking around for a while? What are we thinking?
Once Kat has finished her work, gestures to the blackboard that's on the floor, we will leave shortly after.
Ooh, what you doing?
Well, Titania, well, can't really cast, so the staff, Romulus has carved it so Titania can rest in there. So I'm hoping that the staff can supplement Titania's weakness, and I can still cast magic because I can't at the moment. If it does work, Vinny,
Yes.
can you teach me how to use your swords? Well, how to use swords.
Ooh.
I would be delighted.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that anyway.
Looks over at Romulus.
Oh, I already taught her how to use the pole arms. I'm good.
Cool.
It looks over at Romulus. Oh, we haven't finished. I really need you to teach me how to properly handle, but we'll talk about that next.
Hey, and
He didn't teach you how to
You've
joust,
already-
did he?
Not yet. I was
No.
waiting until at least 3 months in. You know.
Mm.
You got to learn to walk before you can run and Sure, you got to learn to walk and stab people before you can learn to run and stab people.
she's already natural with a firearm, so you don't need me as a teacher.
Oh, you showed me how to use it.
And one lesson is all it took. And look at you.
He just smiles. Yeah, fair. Okay.
Either that or I'm
No.
just a badass teacher.
Oh, well, I mean, it could be that. It could be that you're
It's most likely that.
a skilled teacher.
Definitely not, because the entire skill is point and click.
Oh, you want to go, big man? You want to go right now? I will take you outside and I will put 5 in you before you've even taken a step.
And
By
I'll
what?
shrug it off.
Oh yeah, not likely. And I tap the side of my head. Not likely.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
That's alright, you stay in your corner there.
No,
Right, can we
I'm
stay-
I'm getting up and going over.
Oh.
No, please do. Please do. I'll meet you halfway. How about that?
Hey there, Mortar. You wanna
Hey,
go?
buddy, how you doing?
I hear there's
Oh,
still
buddy. I've been
any chance we
ready
could
to go
get
all
that
day.
arena set up?
Oh, yeah, bring it.
I'll set up an arena after Kat has finished her work.
You're going down, little man.
I looked over
I'm
at
just
Vinny.
going to look
Thank
down
you.
at Mortar and do one little snort.
I was going to say, did he cast levitate before you said that?
I was going to say, I like the idea that the snort, the steam comes from your nostrils and it immediately blow dries Mortar's hair.
All right. Well, I have to see this. I'm not going anywhere today.
3 cheers for violence.
Okay. Unless there's anything anybody would like to do, the next few hours are Kat making the staff.
Oh, I just found a really fucked up way to use something.
Just before the fight with Mortar, yeah.
I was about
Yeah.
to say classic.
Shit, that does work. Rules as written, that does work.
Well, we'll have to find out in this temporary PvP match, I guess.
It might be good for these to let off some steam.
Yeah, Mortar's already kind of hopping, he's kind of shaking himself loose, rolling his neck. There's the biggest grin on his face right now. He's like, I have been waiting for this for so fucking long.
You hear the sound of a knock at the door. Hearn otherwise wanders down the hallway. And as he opens it, you hear the sound of flapping wings, followed by the sound of kind of a little bit of a squawk as Hearn catches Filch before he can get past him, and he holds the
Aw.
bird close to him, and
Mhm.
Filch is kind of looking around going, Buzz! Buzz! He's gonna blow my head up!
Oh, no, that one's mine. That one's mine, sir.
He lets go of Filch, and Filch flies in. Ugh.
All right, Filch.
Yeah, fine. Otherwise, pulls out a cigarette. Beau lights it.
Rough journey.
Hey! More difficult to find this place. No, you're in an extra dimensional plane. As much as I know exactly where you are, it's difficult to find.
I'll bear that in mind next time.
It's alright.
Kirv sort of looks around and says, I'm going to talk to Filch privately for a bit, but knock on my door when the fight starts, all right? And she heads upstairs, carrying Filch.
Okay. You head to your room. Notably, everything here is on the same level. There's no stairs involved, but yes.
Oh, my bad.
That's right. You otherwise head into your room. As you enter a room, a moment of privacy.
So, how did he look?
He wasn't happy with the result, but, there's not really much that could be done. If you couldn't get it this time, he was intrigued by what was said. He said he was gonna look into it. He's not necessarily happy with you, but not gonna take it out on you necessarily.
He was intrigued. Like he didn't know already?
Kinda.
That is difficult to believe.
I
Ashton
know.
wasn't meant to know everything.
Not everything, just most things. Demons don't tend to get a lot of attention from Allah.
Well, they're about to, if this whole thing kicks off.
Yeah, maybe.
When the Lord of Crows sent me off to find this goose, I half assumed he already knew what it was. Where it was, the point was just to get me scared, you know? But if he didn't even know about all of this,
His kind can't leave the Hells. He can't just come here and ransack the place, can't come and get it himself. He has to send agents. People like you and me.
I can think of better people. No offense, Filch.
None taken. We have to be small enough to get through the gaps in the defenses. To go unnoticed. That's why he chose you. That, and it's your fault.
So I was chosen because, in part, as a punishment, and in part because I'm so unspecial.
You want to look at it that way, yeah.
Right. And
I think you're
Irreplaceable.
special, boss.
Oh, Eugene. You don't need to lie. It doesn't suit you. But I do scruff its feathers a bit. I don't know if I was more scared now or more scared before. At least now there's some kind of hope. Maybe the Lord of Crows will reevaluate some things.
Maybe.
Finding out this is much more severe. But then again, he's not going to miss me if something happens.
He said he's going to send a messenger in the next few days. You need to make sure that you're outside, somewhere near a tree, when you are.
He's never needed that before. His minions just took over people and talked to me and froze time and all that bullshit.
Yeah, but this is, one of the normal agents. The messengers. The scarecrow-looking things.
Was that the sorry, above table, was that the one who sent the letter before?
Yes. Yeah. The
Ah.
hellish messengers, or fiendish messengers.
Right. I really wanted a word with him, but I guess he's got more important things.
Yep.
Again, maybe a relief, maybe not. Okay, all right. All right, I'll wait. Wait and see.
But we'll find out, huh?
Thanks, Filch, anyway.
You're welcome. Okay.
And I think, yeah.
You head back out. And shortly after, Kat, you finish constructing the staff. Now, I believe you have all the materials for this.
I do, yes.
So, you piece it all together. The staff coming to a conclusion. The main wooden base of the staff, otherwise, with the nature of the channeling as Kat is pumping it full of magic, the sigil lights up the staff, floats to the center, where you watch it otherwise absorbs the core, which was blood crystals you were using, correct?
Yep.
And what was the wrap?
The wrap was... let me go to my inventory. Get out of the way.
Is Cat about to bust out some beats?
Yeah. I put my horns on backwards.
Oh, fuck it hell.
Is it?
They're kind of there, but I guess I could try ripping them off. Where is it? Crystals or paper? Where did I write it down? Mana, scrolls, your purse, oh god, did I write it in my notebook? Oh, we're gonna be here a while. It was
For
a
now.
spotted fur of some form.
That's all right.
I
For now,
remember that.
as the wrap begins to form around it, the twisted wood that has been carved by Romulus with kind of indents to make place for Sychania, as you concentrate the staff, the blood crystals begin to seep into it, almost turning to this fine blood-like liquid as it's shooting up the side. You can see the wood crack in places as the blood crystals takes hold, before ultimately the wood of the staff hits the floor, hits the chalkboard before falling over to one side. As you quickly catch it and hold on to it, and in that moment you feel almost this sudden connection to your magic once again.
Okay. Huh. I'm gonna put Sychania in the grooves.
Okay.
Hopefully I can...
You pick Sychania up and you begin to wrap her around the grooves. As you're doing so, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Investigation. Let's go. Watch me roll bad on the thing I'm good at. So +8. Oh, well it's... Okay. 23.
23. As
A
you...
very indirect 23.
Yeah, as you otherwise kind of tuck Sychania into the various places where she should be able to socket on the staff. As you hold it there, she fits perfectly into it. But as you go to kind of put the head into the place at the top, you note that the crystal head on the interior of it, cracks have begun to form.
Okay. It's okay. We're gonna fix this. Be fine. Just gives it a little rub and make sure it's not just like a blemish. No, it's all right. Just claps hands. But I can't even clap. Damn.
Perhaps tentacle.
Rubs.
Slap.
Rub springs together.
Nice.
Like, right, okay. We've got this, but I can cast again now. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna look up at Vinny and look over at Grandad. Like, okay, I'm ready. If you are. Looks over and sort of like Mortar and Romulus still staring at each other, I imagine, just like, okay, I think they're ready.
You feel
Born ready.
You feel kind of this cold chill from your pocket.
Reach in and assuming it's Trelodex's crystal because it's the only thing that's cold.
Yeah, you take it out and you
Okay.
feel almost this immediate word and message otherwise creep through your mind. May I speak to your grandfather? Just leave me here while you go practice.
Okay, I'll go over to Femar. Someone wants to talk to you.
Bemar kind of gingerly takes the crystal and looks at it before seemingly there's a connection. Nods, almost as if hearing something. So they're having a conversation.
Okay. It was a bit weird giving his just soul over as if it's just something to barter with, but all right. And I recall that historically we used to be able to alter the place anyway on our own. So I'm going to try and concentrate and make the sandpit in the middle of the building.
You do so. And as one of the people with administrative privileges, you are able to adjust it and add a sand pit to the center of the room. As the blackboard dissipates, a number of the pieces of furniture begin to sink into the floor. The food that's with them also kind of turning to this sand and dust as the sand pit reappears in the center.
Right, I'm gonna look over at the two troublemakers. You two, please don't kill each other. Vinny, shall we?
Ready if you are.
All right.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna summon Roni.
Mm-hmm. Are you training in here or are you training outside?
How open is outside?
Outside goes to the edge of town, and then you can immediately go to a field. So, because it's just outside the Twisted Tap, the same place that you summoned Terador last time.
Okay, shall we go outside? Leave them two in here in the sandpit.
Yeah, probably a good idea. We're just going to be practicing, what I understand. Those two might actually get violent.
Oh no! Our
That could
intentions are
upset people.
strictly just. Our intentions are just to strictly beat the shit out of each other, but it's all in good fun.
I'd say at this point, Kirv walks through, just puts a hand on Vinny's shoulder, and just says, "I'll keep an eye."
As we go
Well,
to head out,
as long as they don't kill each other or get us in trouble.
We would never.
As we head out, I'll put my hand on her and make sure they don't kill each other, please.
He nods.
Kirv just kind of puts her hands up, like, "What, does my word mean nothing? Fine."
I don't know. I think that, you've got some backup if, I'm not too sure how you'd fare about wrestling both Mortar and Romulus at the same time.
I see how it is.
I fully trust you
No,
to have
kind of-
Mortar.
I'm kind of more scared of Kirv than I am of Romulus, to be honest. Look at him; he's just a big teddy bear.
It's just rubs temples. and
Well,
walks
Mortar
out.
really does know how to Start a fight he can't finish.
Oh yeah, that's how I do. That's what they tell me.
As the two of you step into the sand pit, Cat and Vinny going outside. Kirv, as you're standing to one side, kind of Theomar continuing to do seemingly talk to this crystal and seemingly write more stuff down on the chalkboard next to him. Castor kind of almost sidles his way around the outside of the chamber before kind of being propped up against the wall next to you and just goes, "So, you want to make a bet?"
Hit me.
I'll let you make first bet and set the ante. I'll match it.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh shit. Oh yes.
Okay, I'm checking
make us
the
some money.
monies.
Make us some money.
Mortar, make us some money.
Now,
I wish.
before you say who it is,
Okay.
I want you
Want
to
me to
message me who you
Yeah.
bet on so that they can't rig the fight.
Respect.
I'd also like you to send to me how much you're going to ante, because Castor will ante the same for the other person.
Yeah.
Respect. I like that.
You know, I can't
Logistics.
I can't have one of you two throwing so that Kirv makes money.
No.
This is a legitimate fight.
These two
A
and their
legitimate
egos, neither of them are throwing.
No, that's fair.
I absolutely know both of
that's
these
very
players are
true.
going to put
That's
everything
very
into
true.
this.
That's very true.
Alright. So, message me how much and who you're betting on.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
That's alright. While you think, we'll have Cat and Vinny's time outside. As Cat, you summon Roni, go ahead and roll Wild Magic because you'll need to take your sword form, won't you?
Yep. So it'll be elemental bonds. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a 5th level.
You're fine.
Cool. Okay.
You expend the magic, summoning the two large Roni sword.
We are
Is it to me?
not doing anything.
She sent it to me.
I wrote it.
My
I'm so
God.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
All
I
right,
fucked
so-
that so hard.
So, Mortar,
Okay, I wrote
who is
it.
she?
I saw, oh shit, wrong
who
tab.
is she
And
betting
then I
on
deleted
for?
it, and then I pressed enter
Okay,
instead of
okay,
backspace.
Okay. So, I think. Okay. Well, so sorry. What did you say, Chris?
Okay,
Who is
who is she betting on and how much? Because I want to know from you who it is.
You want
Say
you
it out
want to
loud
know-
because the beans have already been spilled. I
Okay.
want to know.
So
Yeah.
I only saw the name, and she was going for Mortar.
Okay. I will say in this moment then, as you're considering who it is, as Mortar makes the teddy bear comment, Castor goes, I'll bet for the teddy bear. You still have to send me how much,
yes.
hon. How much you're betting. Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
respectable.
Okay. I will say, since people know, Kirv will go up to Mortar. She's going to take off the thing around her head, the wrapping, and
Yeah.
she will tie that around Mortar's wrist. And says,
Oh shit!
"Don't lose this. You got this."
Mortar's very like kind of upbeat, like really excited expression goes like really like, oh fuck, like okay, there are stakes here, and he just kind of looks at Romulus and goes, okay, we're fighting for real now.
Castor walks over to you, Romulus,
It's
and just
on.
Castor walks over to you, Romulus, and just goes, "You got this, big man." Gives you a pat on the shoulder, and he is going to give you a bardic inspiration because he's cheating.
Oh,
No,
No,
respect.
So,
I mean, just to check
We're
which
playing like
what
that,
kind of what level of bardic is this?
I'm double checking. It is a D12 because he is a 17th level bard.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh my God.
shit.
Look, none of you know that. He's Mechanically, he's
That's
inspired
fine,
Romulus.
absolutely.
But it's
This
just
means
he's-
everything's on the table.
Mortar's going to kind of like cock his head a little bit and kind of like roll his shoulders, and he's going to go, "Big man, I've been really struggling to kind of understand you recently. You've been you slowing your words or something." Mortar's going to cast Speak with Animals and go, "Does that? Can you speak for me? Can I see if I can understand you a little better?"
Oh my god!
Holy shit.
Okay.
I will just say, surrounded by beast folk.
Harlan, yeah, and Mortar has no tact as well. Like he didn't even think that through. Harlan above board, best man win.
I will.
I knew it was coming. The olive branch was there.
The setup was so good. I had to, but no,
Yeah, no, I
genuinely,
respect it,
we'll
I
have
respect
a play. We'll see what
Okay.
happens.
Let's do it. Let's
I'll
freaking
try my
go.
best. You'll try your best, and we'll see what happens.
So while you
Yeah,
have a
Skippy.
a little
Obviously-
think about your game tactics, we'll just finish off Cat
above
and
board
Vinny
and
stuff.
everything.
Oh, but yes.
Sorry,
yeah,
above board and everything. Obviously non-lethal. Obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
just-
Oh,
So in terms of like in terms of spells and stuff. In terms of
Obviously.
spells and stuff. Oh yeah, fair enough. In terms of spells and stuff, can we make that non-lethal damage, or will I need to be just careful where I place certain spells and stuff?
I'll say. Here's what we'll say. For the purpose of this fight only, everything will be non-lethal. You will take the first person to hit 1 hit point is lost, shall we say?
Perfect. Okay. It's gonna be me.
Well, we'll find out in a bit. But first, Cat and Vinny, you're outside training. You feel like something horrible is going down inside the Twisted Tap, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And then you remember, oh yeah, they're fighting. Anyway, you're there casting the elemental form as you form the 2 Roni blades and hold them in place in that moment as you begin to practice. Vinny, what do you show Cat to begin with?
I'm to start with not going to try and teach her anything too complicated. Obviously, Vinny has a lot going on combat-wise between flourish and sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing I want to show her is how to coordinate with 2 weapon fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's a lot more complicated, you have to be using both simultaneously and making sure they're not getting in each other's way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be almost part fighting and part dancing, trying to show her how to coordinate and keep the rhythm of the 2 blades simultaneously. Hey, Cat, you have a lot of summons and such. You don't
Yeah.
have any that can play music, do you?
No, I mean, I guess they could sort of like stamp on the ground or knock their swords together for a rhythm. Possibly.
That'll do.
Okay, I'll look over at Roni, who's currently standing like literally right next to Cat.
No arms,
So,
because the swords are gone.
oh, he does. They create spectral, but it takes a turn for them to reform
All
because
right.
they can fight alongside Cat.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So he has got them.
Yes, that's right, because they become incapacitated for 1 turn, and then
Mm-hmm. So what kind of beat are you wanting? Is it for like tempo?
Yeah, just a simple rhythm.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, no need for anything fancy yet.
Looks at his sword arms. Don't know if he's gonna be able to do fancy. But right. Okay. Then I will gesture for you to sort of make a thing and then get Roni to mimic that.
Brony will be like a metronome and set a beat
Mhm.
with taps of the swords together.
Okay. So So, how do we do this?
Well, I guess to begin with, I need to see what I'm working with. So why don't you come at me?
Okay. I will. I will go at him, but I'll charge at him with the swords. And let's be honest here, it's just going to be flailing desperately. She has no idea what she's doing. These things.
Also, make me 2 attack rolls with disadvantage then.
Yeah, baby. I'm going to use this one die as well because I've got 4 dice.
Yep.
Oh no! Don't want to hit the everything.
Okay. So,
Yeah, that checks out.
So, with the first attack, a 5 and 9, the 5 plus whatever will miss. The second one being a 5.
It's plus 9.
So 14
Plus
will
9.
miss, but the 24, as you... I'll say for this it's just 1 point of damage. I'm not fussed about it necessarily. You're not trying to go for like lethal attacks here. As you take a swing with them, Vinny, with the first one, you otherwise see the attack coming, sidestep it, and as the second one comes in, you catch it with your scimitar and parry it as best you can, as it does nick, as the blade's electricity does do a little bit of damage to your palm, but you parry it away, up and away from you. I'll say, go ahead and roll me an investigation check, please, Cat. I'll say make this with disadvantage as well, just because this is during the flailing moment here.
Okay, that'll be 17.
Okay. As Vinny catches the two flavorfully, kind of deflecting one away and dodging the other, would you say, Vinny, that the deflection was in time with the beat that has been previously set?
For this one, yes.
Yeah.
That's...
So I'll say with a 17 cap, you note that the ring of steel on steel as the attack is parried is in time with the beat itself of the that Roni has set.
Okay. Then I will try and make a second attack, but instead of launching them both at the same time, I'll swing one on the first ding and then swing the second on the second ding, so they kind of follow each other.
Go ahead and make me 2 regular attacks.
I would like to do something with this,
Go for it.
if I may.
Yeah?
When I see the second attack coming, I'm going to attempt to riposte, making an attack of my own.
Okay, go for it.
Nice.
So, a 15 will miss. The second one is a 19.
20.
Oh, yeah, because it's plus 9,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah. So it would be 16 and 20.
Mhm.
And since you haven't cast Titan Armor, your AC at the moment is 12, right? Or 13.
My AC is 13 at the moment, yeah.
Okay, so that will hit Vinny.
Okay, so my 20 hits, and the 20 hits me as well.
Okay. So, as you're the one leading the teaching here, Vinny, describe to me how this looks between both yours and Cat's attacks.
So I think Cat's attack is probably competent, but pretty easy for Vinny to sidestep past, kind of waiting until the last second and then dodging away. The second one then looks to be doing the same thing and then suddenly darts forward, whipping out the blade, not dealing any particularly serious injury, but making sure that it clearly lands.
Yeah, enough to nick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in response to that, you also receive just a slight kind of glance of an attack yourself, as the beat for this, where it's kind of a steady 1, 2, 1, 2 for the general fight, there is a moment where between like a half between the 1 and 2 beats, there is almost this little beat in the middle where Vinny changes the pace of the attack. The first attack dodging out of the way of one, and before two can land, lands an attack of his own before taking a small glance on the second hit, which you land within the beat of the rhythm, shall we say.
Right. Pretty good. The thing to remember is you have two weapons. You can attack with one and block with the other, but you've got to be careful about it.
Okay.
The other thing is, of course, that if you stay too married to the rhythm, anyone that spots that can take advantage of it.
Right. Okay.
It's
so I need
useful
to-
for thinking about when you're coordinating two things at the same time. It's helpful to have that as a baseline, but if you get too stuck into that pattern, you're going to leave yourself vulnerable.
Right. Squeeze that. But takes on board everything you just said, and then watch that counter you did between beats. Okay. All right. Looks at the blades. There is potential here. Okay. Cat is going to go to make another attack. Vinny's ready, and she's gonna go to take the first attack, or the first attack. She'll take the proper swing. She'll go to take her second swing, but then with the jet blade, engage the jet engine and parry an attack that incomes with that.
Okay. So I'll say,
Ooh,
go ahead and
that's
make
kinda
me your,
sweet with it.
go ahead and make me your first attack, and then I'll have you both roll contested attack rolls for the second one.
First one is the 14.
With the first one on the 14, as you go ahead and you make the strike,
Back in a bit.
Vinny's too well prepared for this. Catching him off guard is going to be difficult with the swings. As you make the first swing, he kind of narrowly avoids it, kind of deftly ducking to one side, with the timing being ever so slightly faster than your own. And then I'd like both of you to make me contested attacks. I'll say as you make a riposte, Vinny, and and Cat, you do an attack roll to counter, shall we say.
Oh, damn. 27.
Okay. In this, and Vinny, your total is...
Yeah, 18.
18. In this moment, as Cat, you otherwise swing forward with one of the large swords, the second one in place. In that moment, as Vinny, you see your opportunity to kind of get an upward slash, just a little nick along her arm in that motion. You watch as the jet blade pulls her forward, and the other one catches your blade, and she spins in that moment, kind of catching herself a little bit further away from you as your ears begin to ring slightly. But you turn and look towards her. Neither of you landed a clean blow on the other as she has defended herself.
Okay.
That was good. Now,
Thanks.
tell me, where is your strength coming from?
My strength? These are magical? They're fast, though. I mean, as you just saw, they kind of work with, say, with Roni, and they give me extra speed, but also these jets make them swing fast. I'll find a bit of a stump or something and do a full-on attack, which is 4 attacks.
Yeah.
The 2 action and the 2 bonus action.
Yeah.
They're designed for sort of like speed. But they're not heavy.
That's good. I mean, I'd be the first to admit I'm not the strongest of people. The kind of heavy weapons Romulus flings around, I don't think I could do that.
No, he showed me some, and it's more sort of like, from what I got from a little bit, is using your core and your body and your strength to try and hit hard. But this feels it's more that you use movement and decisive strikes, playing more tactically rather than strength based to try and hit your target.
That's a
Which-
part of it.
Oh,
The thing to bear in mind is, regardless of what strategy you're using, technique is the most important thing.
okay.
When Romulus is using big, heavy attacks, he's using both hands like a lever, arranging his entire body and the pattern of his strikes so that he is able to actually use his strength.
So, what do you use? How do you? What do you focus on when you're making your strikes?
You tell me. And I'm going to go for another attack.
Damn.
This time, not a training attack, a vicious swing,
Oh.
like fully going into the full speed of it, but making sure it's like fully going in for a full lunge and a swipe at face level, but just a few inches away from Cat's head.
Go ahead.
I'm
and
gonna
make me an
try
attack.
and assess where he's coming from, and I'm gonna try and see if I can mimic his parry with my two.
I'll say
or
make it with
block it.
disadvantage in this instance, as this is a sudden training exercise.
Mhm. Good.
It's a
25.
16 from me.
I got a 25.
Well done.
Okay. You step forward into the lunge and swipe, holding back purposefully, like not wanting to hurt, but making it seem far scarier than it is. And in that moment, there's almost this instinctive nature, as if Cat has a connection to these blades as they pull themselves into motion, striking away your attack in almost this whirling defense manner before she takes more of a defensive posture. There is a connection between her and these blades, it would seem.
Okay.
Not bad. So, to explain, well, you may not be able to copy all of my techniques directly, given the difference in body type, but the principle should be transferable. My legs are stronger than my arms.
Okay.
I
So
can-
you play to your speed rather than your strength.
A good. And even if I'm not the strongest, I can build momentum with a big slash.
BRB.
Use it to really build up some real force behind the swing, even if I don't have the muscle to brute force that.
Okay. So before we go off and do sort of like just more like the practicing and stuff like that, can I say, come at me one more time. Don't hold back. Come like you just did. And as he goes to do that, I'm going to watch. I'm not going to be so much as worry about deflecting the hit or anything like that. I will take the hit. 'Cause I'm pretty sure he's not aiming to kill, but she's going to be watching body movement and his stance to see how that affects his strike.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll say don't worry about making an attack here. Unless you want to see if you crit, you know, going all out, just because it'll be
This could
interesting.
backfire, but yeah, sure.
I'm
Yeah,
intrigued.
so I'm going to Going to draw back and then once again lunge forward. A little before I reach the correct distance, go into a spin, twirl, and deliver a huge across the body, like horizontal slash.
Okay.
Flicking through with the blade until it's out by my side.
Okay. The attack is clean. It is precise. And you take in every motion, every step, every bit of the stance, noting that where you've seen Romulus be a stalwart defender, and he taught you to have this strong stance that would be immovable, holding the great weapons in such ferocity that you can swing them with a heftiness, relying on the weight that they have with them as well as the strength of the user behind them. With Vinny's step in followed by a swing to one side, the leverage isn't there in Vinny's arm as much, but in his legs as he twists, his hips becoming that leverage that Romulus had drilled in through the use of your shoulders and bicep muscles. And in that moment you understand, Cat, as you are otherwise analysing it, that your entire body can become the lever for making an attack do significant damage. In this instance, Vinny's attacks come from speed, relying on everything about Vinny's person to land those attacks, to swing with them with deft precision, while also turning an entire agile flourish into a whirlwind of an attack. Meanwhile, Romulus uses a very stationary, very stalwart situation, using the idea of standing your ground and having the raw lever-like strength from a longer weapon to give you that advantage. You can see the comparisons.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then in on that case, then as we go sort of come towards the end and that, then Cat will like, okay, I think I understand. If you could just give me pointers, and you don't have to give pointers obviously, but while Cat practices with Roni and tells Roni to deflect her strikes, and then just Vinny gives the pointers of, well, you could have tried this, or have you tried that, or with your type, try swinging this direction, something like that.
Yeah.
So it just sort of like peters out to him giving pointers as she makes the swings
Okay.
while Roni blocks.
Within the
Yeah, I'll
early
guide
morning.
Cat for a little while.
Yeah, with the early morning of a cold and brittle sun rising, you feel the the fresh morning is beginning to heat up and warm up. The mist and fog that has otherwise collected in this nearby to Berlin is beginning to be burnt off as you practice in the early morning. And I think before we get into Mortar versus Romulus, we'll have a quick 5-minute break for people to pop to the loo or grab drinks or whatever the case may be. We shall not be long. And then we will return to the first bit of
The not at all anticipated battle.
between the first time in campaign 2, proper PvP. This will be interesting.
Woo!
We're looking forward to it.
Alrighty.
Oh,
So
bro, I'm so excited, man.
we'll be back in a moment or two. Don't go anywhere.
Nice. Hi.
I'm
It's
going to be
gonna
back.
be real bloody funny whatever happens.
Oh, for sure. Like,
Definitely.
I've got some tricks, but as soon as if you get close, man, I think it's over. It's pretty over. I was looking at my HP, and then when Chris like brought up like, oh yeah, as soon as it hits 1 HP, like you're down now, and I looked at my HP and went, that's real quick.
Sorry, back.
One.
We're
I'm
just
just
taking
picturing it's like the SpongeBob cut where it's this one action surge later, and it's just Mortar in a crater.
I do have a couple questions to ask if you would be so kind as to elucidate me.
Poor brother.
What features do you have?
Oh, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
The ones that's good. They're the ones that are going to win me this match, man.
We
Those
can
are the
just
kinds
take
of
his
feats
arm
I
off
have.
and beat him up with his own arm.
Yeah, that's fair. Or my leg. My leg works as well.
The thing
It's
is,
a weird game of stop hitting yourself.
I do only need one attack to work, and then
Yeah.
I'm pretty much set.
Yeah, you're using stagger, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
really need to
hey.
hit him hard quickly.
It's good, bro. Like I want to see Romulus cut loose. I want to see what he can do when he's balls to the wall, just wants to go in. And Mortar was like, hey, if I rile him up, it means I'm going to get him at his best. So happy days. Mortar has no qualms about beating the shit out of. He does it all the time.
Right, I will. Thank you.
Except this time he's got Kirv's armband on his arm, which is making him go, maybe I should take this a little bit more seriously than I was initially intending.
Mm.
Oh, man. Okay.
The way I imagine this is either Mortar's going to pull some shit and actually manage to just sort of like get Romulus before
So-
he can do any of the.
If I manage to do
Range or get
something, I'll be
close.
happy.
Cat
Sorry,
comes
are we
back.
on break right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
on
I
break
did
at
not
the minute.
realise that. Sorry. Yeah,
Ah.
me.
Are you good?
Or Cat comes back, Mortar has lost, are just sort of there, and he's sitting pouting in a chair with a big black eye.
Mortar's just in the stratosphere, and Cat arrives like, where's Mortar? Mortar just crash lands.
Like, oh. It just looks down. Operation Sniper Tower?
Operation Sniper Tower!
Okay. Just cast a healing spell as she walks on by.
Like the idea that your healing spell in that case is just like you throwing like a box of tissues for Mortar to clean himself up.
I've got to remember I need to ask Romulus about the carving.
You can do it while he's beating the shit out of me.
No, she's not around at the moment.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
Training with Vinny.
That was a sick exchange, by the way.
Yeah, it's so basically when I create an armor set or when I create the weapon for the elemental, I can only roll with disadvantage until I've trained with it with the person it's relevant to.
Oh, that's sick. That's really cool.
It's to encourage sort of like I designed it so as to encourage with each member of the party Cat does some training with, so
Nice.
you know,
Turn it
everyone
up.
can be included. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Are you ready to rumble?
Ah.
Alright, have we got everybody here? We've got a Kirv, a Romulus, and a Vinny.
I mean, I'm not at the computer, but I can hear you.
Okay, well, we're waiting on the others by the looks of it.
Yeah, Kirv's just gone. Vinny said he'll be back. Fuck. What? Whatever. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Ugh. Excuse me.
Making cup of tea.
Making cup of tea.
Making cup of tea. Do. Do I chuck some halloumi fries in the air fryer?
Yes.
Hey, Kirv, you should probably get one of your birds to fly around so you can look through their eyes to get a bird's eye
Oh
view of
yeah,
the
you
site.
could get. Yeah, that'd be really sick.
Kirv's not here right now.
She's not here right now.
Fuck! Someone remind her of that when we when she's back.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
There's-
cool, actually.
There's only you two there. And Beau, but
Oh,
Oh, I
To
thought Kirv
us-
was
to us
watching, 'cause,
there's-
you
to
know, betting
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah,
to
she
us, there's
is.
a crowd.
but
Okay, I was-
me
Out
and
of
Vinny
character, I
have,
think they're referring to.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
they were
okay.
talking in character, it was like,
Just to
It's
check,
not
did we
there.
get that inspiration? Yay or nay?
I don't think I did.
What do you mean? What for? Anything specific or just?
No, just for last session. Just thought I'd ask.
Oh, I gave everybody inspiration last session. I believe
Excellent.
some of you were using them during the session though.
I don't remember getting it.
So if
Last
it's
session.
unticked, then you've probably used it. Unless it was I
Okay.
gave it to Cat and somebody else specifically. I can't remember.
I know I got it and never used it because
I think it was
Vinny's
specific,
bardic.
'cause I don't remember getting that at all.
Ah, okay.
That's fine.
yeah, I got it, but I never used it.
In which case, then, currently, no.
Awesome.
No
Ah, you got a
rerolls
bardic
allowed.
inspiration.
Then
You've
you
got
got a
some
bardic
kind of
inspiration anyway,
inspiration.
Romulus. Yeah, you're fine.
Cool.
What's your
Um,
bonus to initiative?
None of your business.
Alright, okay, I see you.
None of your business.
No, okay.
Oh, it's none ya.
Okay.
None your business.
Done your business.
Uh,
Nicely done. Alright.
Simon,
Oh,
thank you for
Mhm.
that, by the way.
that's
it's
okay.
really sick.
I would be more than happy to take Cat through some more stuff. If she wants
Hell
to learn
yeah.
how to sneak attack, that would be.
Vinny's fighting
Chris-
style is just pure
Chris,
finesse.
can
It's
Cat
so
learn to
cool.
sneak attack?
If you take a level in Rogue, it means that you will
Okay.
be multi-classing into a 4th class if you do that. But
Oh god, that'd be
Nice.
chaotic.
Nice. You
alternatively,
needed more things to keep track of, Jamie.
if you want, because you were obviously we weren't entirely sure necessarily of what archetype you might go for fighter, we could workshop something which gives you something like sneak attack and some roguish stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Alternatively, Vinny also does a lot of like flourishes, his swords bard thing. If you want to learn something like that, then stuff like Battlemaster maneuvers could be a fit.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a good way of flavouring it, perhaps.
That
It's up to
sounds
you.
good.
Yeah.
No, that does genuinely sound good. Okay.
Battlemaster ones probably work out best because then I can just like take inspiration from like bard flourishes and just pop them into there if they don't already exist.
Mm,
So that should
Okay.
work.
it's-
I
Yeah.
think I might go that way then. Instead of going a third rune of some degree. Just to go rune knight. Might go that way. That's a cool point. Thank you. Thank you anyway. Thank you for the
Okay.
advice. But yeah,
Yeah,
Cat
part of
definitely
me
will
wants
train
to
with you
make-
again.
Part of me wanted to make Vinny with maneuvers and flourishes. From a fighter
Oh,
class,
that would
but
be
I just don't think-
amazing.
I just don't think it's a good fit for Vinny with being primarily rogue.
Hmm.
Another character, maybe.
Another character.
Maybe.
Fighter
No,
maneuvers,
you have a really good way of like
bard
describing.
flourishes.
You have a really good way of
Mm.
describing like your characters' like movement and stuff, like Vinny's movements and stuff. So definitely consider like playing a Battlemaster for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've played a Battlemaster before, but she used a bow, so
Well, that's actually kind of sick. Yeah.
it's a cool class, but most of the narrative stuff is just about where the arrows are. You don't get the flippy dippy, silly bullshit as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Flippy
for
dippy
sure.
bullshit.
Yes.
Yep.
And now we have everybody back. So, as was suggested by Romulus for you, Kirv, might be worth having Filch or Eugene fly above, and then you can have them be like a bird's eye camera if you want.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But while we've got that fresh in our minds, Castor steps off of the sand, and in that moment, you otherwise get the feel of combat is arriving. So, I would like the two of you to roll for initiative, and because the nature of this is a duel, we will also be proceeding with a... we'll be beginning with a 1 round of prep for if you wish to cast any supportive
Yeah.
spells or used any
Oh,
supportive
man.
abilities to boost yourself.
Okay.
So,
Dokie. Rolling initiative.
That's pretty freaking good.
alright, what we got here, Mortar?
Sorry, ignore the one
We
on the
got a
right.
22 for Mortar. Mortar is pumped.
So only a 13.
Okay.
I'll go second. Don't you worry.
Okay, so...
Appreciate it.
Sorry, if I may interject. Since Romulus got inspiration, is it
Oh,
fair
yeah.
if I give Mortar Shield of Faith?
Unfortunately, in your case, Shield of Faith is a lot more obvious, so if you wish to try and rig this fight with Shield of Faith, you can.
Oh, what? Because it's more
It's-
obvious.
Yeah,
Ah,
Bardic,
no, it's all good.
Kidding
Ro-
me.
Bardic
Bardic
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Invisible as fuck.
Yeah.
Rebecca, here's the thing. Right now, I have the high ground because Romulus needs a crutch. Right now, I have the high ground. Do not take this from me.
Yeah, you don't know this,
No,
though.
I'm sorry. Okay. You go. You guys. You do it.
You're about to
I-
lose
I
that.
appreciate-
You're about
I
to lose
appreciate
that
that.
money. All right. So,
I'm about to take a lot of damage very quickly.
so
Yes,
the
you are.
first round of combat. Before you proceed to any fighting, we will begin with the top of the initiative order. Mortar, is there anything non-aggressive that you would like to do that will otherwise set you up for any following turns? You have a single action or bonus action to set up whatever casting spell you would like to use.
Action or bonus action. Mortar
Correct.
will cast Blink on himself.
Okay, which means you will disappear
Ooh.
the moment this happens.
Bold choice.
Okay, so you initiate Blink and Romulus.
Romulus will make use of a rage because presumably I don't know that the blink is going to happen until it happens. So it would make sense for me to rage at the start of this, assuming we're kind of going in tandem.
Yeah, I picture this
Yeah.
happening like all at once.
I'll say
kind of
that that works out. So in this moment, as you begin to kind
It
of
wouldn't
rile
feel
your...
fair to be like, oh, well, you've disappeared, I'm just not going to rage.
No, that's fine.
Uh,
You otherwise rage and begin to otherwise hop from hoof to hoof, kind of building yourself up, and as you look up, Mortar is gone. Back to the top of the round, Mortar. You blink back into existence, just off from Romulus's viewpoint, out of his line of sight. What would you like to do?
Mortar is going to kind of grinning to himself. He's like, "Do you have any idea how long I've been waiting for this?" He's going to spin his gun. He's going to go, "Let's dance," and he's going to start just blasting.
Okay. So, let us open up with a few shots. So, take away your attacks.
Woo! All right. So I have plus 11 to this.
14!
That is a 14.
That
Nope.
first one will miss.
Classic.
As you take the first shot, Romulus, you note what looks to be one of the shots coming towards as you feel almost the psychic energy beginning to disrupt the air as you lean back out of the way. The second one is a...
17.
Does that hit?
It would. This is a ranged attack, though, isn't it?
Correct.
It is, yes.
I would like to use my gloves of missile snaring.
Oh, that's sick!
We've never used them before, but
so
you bought them so long ago. So, how do they work? Yes, I don't remember.
Okay, I can use my reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus my dexterity modifier. If I reduce the damage to 0, I can catch the missile if it's small enough for me to hold in that hand.
Okay.
Which would be sick as fuck. I don't know how much damage it'll do, so that it's entirely possible this
So
would.
that is 13 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
Okay,
So you
there's no way I
can't
can bring it down
nullify
to
it.
0,
No,
but
but
I
you can
can.
definitely take reduced damage.
Okay,
6 less
6
damage.
points
Okay.
reduction. That's pretty good.
You take 7 points of psychic damage as you fire the shot. For the first time in a while, you watch as, in this moment, Romulus, almost with lightning speed after stepping back after the other one, lifts a hand to block it, and you see that there's almost this glowing rune upon his palm. And you note that he has what looks to be almost these kind of just wrist-length gloves that are almost near invisible as he grabs the bullet in the air before you watch as it passes through and punctures into the side of his head, doing a little bit of damage, a little bit of blood kind of pooling at the edge of his nose, but not a full nosebleed. You
Not bad, big man.
you
First blood's mine, though.
you flourish and spin your gun in that moment.
It's not about first blood. It's about the last.
Ooh, I got chills. Bite me. Mortar's then going to bonus action run away.
What?
He's going to bonus action burst of speed to get a solid 60 feet of distance away from Romulus.
Okay.
Jesus.
The chamber in this is 60 foot across, so the maximum you'd be able to get would be 40 foot before you crash into Castor or
Ooh,
Kirv.
okay, that will change things then.
Yeah.
Mortar's feeling confident for reasons which probably are not good for him. He's going to instead adrenaline surge, and he's going to go, something I've observed about you. You're really good with weapons, but you're not so good up here. And Mortar's going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
So
Choice.
that is a
His wisdom save DC 15.
okay. Take it away, Romulus. Let's see what you got.
All right, well, yeah, let's see what I got.
Come on,
Oh, boy.
I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you. Come on.
Well, whatever happens will happen. Whatever
Agreed.
will be, will be. Oh, that hurts.
What's that?
Rolled
It
off of a
was
natural
almost
20
On to an 8.
Oh no!
as a 9. As in this moment, Romulus
Yeah.
begins to chortle, then chuckle,
Mortar's
and then
going, hold on,
falls
hold on,
onto the
hold on,
ground
can I-
laughing.
Could I
Go
have a
for it.
little build up to this? So hold up. So Mortar, in order to enact this, Mortar's going to kind of cock his head and he goes, funny thought. Just a little joke for you, Romulus. How many party members does it take to get you a bedfellow? And that is going to be his trigger, and he's going to say, "You already know the answer."
Okay. So, Romulus, you are laughing in this moment. Mortar, go ahead and roll for Blink. I believe it's an 11 or higher and you disappear, I believe.
Correct.
Or is it the other way?
It's 11 or higher. I disappear.
Yep.
Let's see if I do.
Yep.
I do.
You disappear.
And just like that, Mortar kind of jumps backwards, and he's just gone.
Okay. Romulus, you spend your turn chortling and laughing on the ground, incapacitated for the turn. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw to see if you can get over it. That is an 8, I believe. Romulus?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. As you continue laughing and chortling on the ground, Mortar, it is your turn. As you blink back into existence, you see that Romulus is still rolling and laughing in the sand.
I'm glad that one tickled you, my friend. And Mortar is going to then... what is he going to do? Mortar kind of opens the chamber of Black Scorpion. He spins the chamber, goes, not you, not you. Ooh, maybe you. And he is going to... he's going to use his Slayer's Prey, marking Romulus as a bonus action. He kind of points at him and go, "You, my friend, are my mark." In case you didn't know. And Mortar's going to begin shooting at you while you're on the ground at a safe, respectable distance. of
Okay.
course.
Excellent.
This will be with
Please
disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yep, because he is
Disadvantage,
prone.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I understand.
I was hoping he'd forgotten that because it'd be such a
No,
lovely
no.
moment.
No, I know what I got. Okay.
Oh,
dude,
doesn't
that's
matter.
27.
Good luck, though.
Go ahead and
That's
roll
a
damage.
27.
Damn.
So he also has
Wow.
a D6 on top of this
Mm-hmm.
because of Slayer's Prey.
Yep.
Oh, that's 11 plus 5 is 16 points of psychic.
16 points of psychic damage. As in this moment, Romulus, you're there laughing, and you just kind of look down at him. You're looking through the bullets as you do, click them back in, and as you take a shot, doesn't matter if he's on the floor writhing and laughing, you know where the head is, and you shoot.
Yeah.
The resounding screech shoots through Romulus's mind.
So 16, you said.
Yeah.
16, yes.
Okie dokie. Thank you very much.
Okay.
No worries.
Second attack.
Yes, second attack. Disadvantage again.
Yes.
I've used the D6 already, so I can't use it again for the rest of this turn.
Correct. That is
No.
that is a 2. Is it with Black Scorpion? It's only a jam on
that's a
ones,
2.
isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
did
correct,
take
yes.
damage with the last one, so I do get another save with advantage.
Is it, or is it just that it ends? Target has
Me,
advantage on
it
the
is
save. If it's triggered by damage.
Let
Okay.
me check.
So this is before the end
Who
of.
is-
Target has
turn.
advantage on saving throw if it's
Yep.
triggered by damage. Yeah.
And that was an 18.
And we-
That will succeed.
Okay.
In which case, then, my shot shouldn't have been at disadvantage.
He'd still
That
be
would have still been a
prone.
3.
I'd still be prone.
He'd still be prone.
not
for
the-
that,
Oh, that's
yeah.
true. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, you're
I had to
absolutely
get up
right.
first.
Yeah.
That's right. As
Okay, so you're still prone.
As you take the first shot, it resounds and you hear the sound of the laughter stop. And as you go to take the second shot, Romulus otherwise kind of rolls out of the way before kind of, I'll say, punching a little bit of sand in this moment to stand back up. Your rage is still very much going.
Good. I thought as much.
Go ahead and...
Yeah,
Is there anything else you'd like to
Not
do?
gonna lie, most comedians burn out by then, so this is expected.
Mhm.
Mortar is going to, as a bonus action.
You've used your
So
bonus action
Hideous
for
Laughter is
Hunter's
gone.
Prey, didn't you?
Slayer's prayers.
Oh, Slayer's
yeah.
Prey, correct.
Yeah.
And I've already taken 2 shots, so movement-wise, I will move as far away from Romulus as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. I'd like to. That's the end of your turn then.
You've always got the blink.
That is the end of my turn.
So let's see if you
I
blink
do.
out.
I also have the blink.
Can I stone rune in whilst that's happening?
This is one of those interesting scenarios where it happens simultaneously.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't blink.
So I'll
Don't
say
blink.
in this instance,
No,
as
I'm
you
very much in.
as you step back to go and blink out of the way, there's this moment where you're like, aha, I will escape once again, before you feel your body
Yeah.
almost go stiff. And you're like, oh no.
Oh, fuck.
Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw, or is it charisma for stone rune?
Wisdom save. Wisdom. Save.
Wisdom.
Okay.
Okay.
You're pretty good at
I've
this.
got a +4 to this. Yeah. I've got
What's
a
the
+4
DC?
to this.
16.
16.
Ooh.
And
Oh, yeah, I'm good. 23. Let's go.
23. I was
What's
going to
this sound
say...
like?
I was going to say, this is also a charmed effect,
yeah.
which I believe you have advantage on
Yeah,
because of
I
your Mordant
I
heritage,
do.
so, yeah.
That's fair.
Mortar just
Look.
kind of wags a finger at Romulus. He's like, nah. Hit me
It's
with
worth
this,
it.
buddy.
It's one of those things where it's worth a try.
Oh, yeah.
Leave the mind games to the master, alright?
Alright. Romulus,
So now it's my turn.
it is your turn.
Now it's your turn.
How
Here we
far
go.
away am I currently from Mortar?
Maximum distance that would be possible would be 40 feet.
So
Okay.
you can make it to me.
Yep. Yes, I can because I have a 10-foot reach. I'm going
Yeah.
to. It's your own fault, Chris. You said I got back on my feet last turn. So.
You were still prone as part of the attack.
Nah,
It was more of a narrative thing, so
right, is it 5 foot of movement I need in order to
half of
stand
it.
up?
No,
Unless you
half.
have athlete, it's half.
Damn. Okay, so that's going to be half of 35. I would imagine we'd call that 15.
That would be 15, yeah, because it rounds down.
So I've got 20, 20, only 20 foot. Very sad. Right, so that's not the end of the world. I'm going to get as close to him as I can.
Okay.
So that should bring me within 20 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me just check something very quickly. Nope, that doesn't have what I thought it did. Nope. Okay. In that case, the only thing I can do is I'm going to use my action to get up real bloody close.
Okay.
And dash with
Right.
my action.
You dash up close to Mortar
How close does he get?
within 5 feet.
Okay, great.
Right. Now, can I use my horn attack on him?
Yes, because you've moved in a straight line for this. Yes, you would be able to.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
You know what? Just for the fun of it, I've still got a bonus action. I think I'm going to Giant's Might as I do this.
It would either be the Horn attack or it would be the Giant's Might because you've used your action to
Oh,
dash
of course,
already.
it is a bonus action. Yeah. Yes, sorry, I didn't think there. So
That's all right.
I'll just attack for now.
Okay, go for it.
Oh boy.
And
Here
recklessing, as you might imagine.
Yeah, all right.
Your horns, yeah.
There's no real downside to it, yeah. No! No!
Oh,
Yo!
Simon, I believe that's a 1 in 400 chance.
Oh. It's good to finally have somebody else roll 2 1s on advantage. So, Mortar, go ahead and give me an attack with advantage. As in this
Mortar,
moment,
I
as
wanna
Romulus
say- Oh,
runs
boy.
up, charging towards you, lowers his head. You crouch down, going onto one knee, and point your pit black scorpion in the air as Romulus's head passes over the end of the gun as you fire it.
So I was just gonna whisper under his breath with a smile, jackpot. And
Okay,
that's a 17
and
plus
you-
it's 28.
That will hit, and you get the bonus d6, remember, because it is a separate turn, even if it is not yours.
Oh wow, that's 17 points of psychic damage.
As you fire upwards, the shot rattles through your brain, Romulus, as you're kind of charging forward, and there's a moment where you stumble to prevent yourself kind of stopping yourself from going outside the arena, but you feel almost this quake through your head as the psychic damage is getting to you. Yeah? That's pretty rough.
That's a pretty rough one.
Mortar, it is now your go.
So upon Mortar doing this, he's on one knee. I'm going to bonus action burst of speed to disengage from Romulus as I kind of
that doesn't work though, does it?
Well, he said it,
Sentinel.
because of Sentinel.
Yeah, I
Use
said
my
it.
opportunity attack, please.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Go
That's
for
sick.
it. With advantage, because you reckless.
Thank you. Right. You know what? It'd be really funny if this didn't work.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? After
well,
2
it's
natural ones, what could possibly go wrong? Ah, okay, that does hit.
Oh, I think
That'll
that
do.
one will
That'll
hit.
that'll hit.
That'll
That'll
hit,
do.
Yeah. And let me roll that one.
Okay,
So I
so
believe that should
6
be
and 6. So that's
12.
12.
Plus 2 plus 7. So,
So
12 plus 9 is
21.
21 points of damage.
21 points of slashing
Nice.
damage as Stagger cuts into you. Seeing this opportunity, you use burst of speed to dash to try and get as far away as possible before Romulus.
Unfortunately, my stagger slams in, and I'm gonna say goes for the you turn and it slams into the
Yeah.
back of your knees, and that
Oh.
speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn.
Okay.
So Mortar kind of as you strike the back of his legs, Mortar tries to somersault with it and lands kind of on his knees, so he's unable to kind of dash, and he's like, "Oh boy, okay."
Notably, you are
this is bad for me, isn't it?
Notably, because of the reach, you are 10 feet away, so you do not have disadvantage on your weapon attacks. So you have
is
advantage
true.
when shooting
Sweet, that'll
Romulus.
do.
That's one disadvantage of ranged
However-
weapons, of reach weapons.
As I have just attacked him, I mean I gotta try Fire Rune.
Let me double
Does that
check.
require a bonus action?
It does not. It
It's-
just happens when I do an
It's
attack.
just on an attack,
Wow.
isn't it? Yeah. When you
That's
hit a
pretty
creature
cool.
with an attack using your weapon, you may evoke a fiery rune. Yeah. So this is a
Sick.
strength save against
Dex
being
save?
restrained.
Strength save.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No,
God.
Oh no. Oh,
you can
no.
do this. You can do this. Come on, I believe in you.
And you always have
Yeah.
invigorate if things go horribly wrong. Ooh.
Things went horribly wrong, Chris.
What's the total?
13.
13.
Yeah, no, that ain't gonna do it. It's a 16.
No.
DC.
Yeah, that ain't gonna do it.
Do you want to invigorate?
I cannot afford to be pinned down by Romulus right now.
That's
so
fair.
yeah, I'm a reroll. So it's a +1 to my strength saves.
Mm-hmm. Oh!
15.
15.
Oh!
As in this
I think
moment...
Mortar, I think Mortar tries to sprint, and then one of the fiery chains just wraps around his ankle and drags him back to the ground or something.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
in-
sick as hell. That's
in
sick
this
as hell.
moment-
And Mortar's just there Mortar's got there he kind of shrugs and goes, "Oops."
As you,
I believe that's 2d6 fire damage.
Yeah, I believe
yes.
so.
Does that still go through if he succeeds the save? Oh, it's just against the restrain, isn't it? For
I mean, he failed the
Yeah,
save still.
I failed the save anyway. I got 15.
oh wait, I thought 15 was your DC.
Yeah, my DC's 16.
Oh, okay.
When-
Then yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
must
real
have
bad.
been Yeah.
Okay.
Nice
Oh.
10 points of fire damage.
10 points of fire damage.
Oh, lovely.
As in this moment, Mortar,
Right.
as you otherwise roll to get out the way, the shackle winding down from the wound on your leg pins you to the ground as you roll down. You are restrained, which means your movement is 0. You have disadvantage on attacks, but you have advantage when shooting at Romulus. So that's all right.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's not too bad.
So I haven't used my action or anything yet. I've only used my bonus action. So Mortar is going to hit Romulus with a Tasha's hideous laughter again.
Wisdom saving throw, please, Romulus.
You know what?
If I can't-
it's a fair cop.
If I can't move, you can't move.
It's a fair cop. It's a fair cop.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, you see, what I am going to do is I am going to use my lovely D12.
The Bardic
Wait, how
Inspiration.
did you 12?
The Bardic Inspiration from
Oh,
Caster because he
Bardic
fight rigged.
Oh no.
We love it. And, I just think to those kind of...
You got-
I bet on
You
the
got this,
teddy
big
bear.
man.
Yeah, and I just suddenly, I'm like, you know what? I do got this. And,
I do got this.
right, let me
Oh,
mark that
that's
off.
awesome.
Yep, no, that's
Okay.
fine. So, in this moment, as you kind of reach out the psionic energy to try and make him laugh, what joke do you tell, Mortar?
Mortar quickly grabs a pair of glasses, puts them on. You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? And he's going to try to make Romulus laugh using that.
You see Romulus just kind of in a low growl. Yes, I would.
Oh fuck yeah, you
I
would.
have, and I will.
Okay.
Noted for the future.
Okay,
Note to
so
self, work on material.
action, movement, and bonus action are all done. Roll to see if you blink.
Please.
It's be very
That
funny
would
if
be-
you blink, because
Yeah.
that does mean that you are just kind of there.
Yeah, I know. I blink!
As you blink out of
Fuck
existence,
you!
Romulus, you get ready for a flurry of attacks, and in this immediate moment, you go, ah, and he disappears.
Yes, but I do know that his speed is 0 still.
So he's going to come back in the same place.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna prepare a reaction, Chris.
Okay, you're going to hold your action for your 2 attacks against him. Okay.
Yep.
At the beginning of your turn, as you're stuck there, kind of pulling at the chain. Wait, hold on.
I'm home free.
With Fire Rune, do you make the save at the end of turn? The target can repeat the save at the end of each of their turns.
Yeah.
I'm
and
not there.
So
Yes, but
Yeah,
it
no,
will
the,
still happen simultaneously. So you roll another strength save.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I've lost 1.
Yeah, it takes the damage at the start of the turn, but it will be the nope.
No,
so you're still stuck in
absolutely
place.
not.
So,
Absolutely not.
At the
Mortar's
start of
there like, and I'm home free. He goes to walk, and he's just like, oh, no.
that is an extra 2d6 damage,
Yeah.
I believe.
so start with
Shall I
so
roll that
Okay.
again?
at the start of your turn, as you blink back in, unable to move because you were not able to break out of the fiery shackles, as they travel with
Yep.
you to the ethereal plane. As you're blinked out, you're like, oh no, this isn't good.
Is
And you
Blink a concentration spell at all?
no, it's not. It's just a
No,
minute.
it's not.
Oh, that's
That's
wild.
why. That's why I was like, I need this on me immediately.
Yeah.
Fair-
So you
fair,
take
very fair.
Yeah.
8 points of additional fire damage as you blink back in and you see a Minotaur bearing down on you with their attacks. As this is a held action, I don't know if you can Reckless, but you have advantage anyway, so... Because
Can I
restraint.
Great Weapon Master on?
I'll allow that. Yeah, Great Weapon Master is okay, just I believe Reckless requires you to do it on your turn.
I believe. Yeah. It's a weird one on that one because I didn't make an attack, but this is the first attack of this turn. But it's a weird one.
Yeah.
But I believe I already have advantage.
You have
because of
advantage
restraint.
because of restraint, yeah. So go ahead and make
So
me
that's
the...
actually honestly, this works out good for me.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, so...
What's your AC, if I can ask?
My AC is 18. and
Alright,
a
so
slippery
with
little guy.
Great Weapon Master, that will miss.
That will miss. That will miss.
As you make the first attack, swinging down with stagger, Mortar, describe to me how Romulus misses as you're chained to the ground.
So Mortar is chained to the ground. Is it like one chain? Are we saying, or are we
Yeah,
like?
we'll say
are
it's
we,
one
like,
chain.
Kind of, you know. So Mortar, what he does, you know, I'm trying to remember what it is. You know where you've got like the ball attached to the string, you hit it and like it goes around in a circle? Mortar essentially kind of throws himself back and swings around and lands exactly where he was in order to avoid the attack.
Okay.
It's absolute non-shenaniganery.
Is insanity.
Second attack.
Yeah.
Damn.
Ooh, 10
that one
plus.
is- So that one is. That'll still miss, I believe.
Okay.
Because that's only going to be a +6 to that one because I've not got flanking or anything.
Yeah, so +6, 16 will
Shame.
miss. As the second attack goes to cut through you, if I may, Mortar, you otherwise jump and twist into the air, kind of the chain pulling you down enough to stop you from getting truly airborne and away. But Romulus's stagger goes to cut through it, but passes through the flames of the fire rune as they are bound to the weapon as you land. It was a good idea, but doesn't break you free. You are still restrained and in close quarters with Romulus at this moment.
That's fine. That's fine. Mortar is down, but he's nowhere near out. Mortar spins his weapon and he goes, later chum, and he's going to bonus action sidestep.
Okay, as you
Choice.
shoot past you, otherwise look there, Romulus, getting ready for what I would have assumed
Can I
would have
ask
been
a
an action
weird-
surge in
Yeah.
return. You would go to make the attack, and in that moment you watch as he disappears, almost like a moment from Gmod. You watch as there's this thin red light as it almost stretches through the ground before pinging to his new location. As the shackles do travel with you, unfortunately.
Yes,
Oh!
we established this before.
Yeah,
That's insane.
because they
also
are
kind
a
of like
magical
some-
effect, yeah.
Mortar like somersaults out of his teleport, realizes he's still chained, and he kind of tilts his head. He's like, well, that's some bullshit. And he's just going to open fire on Romulus.
Okay, 2
Oh, wait,
attacks.
hold on. I'm still restrained, right?
Yeah, so it's with
Yes.
disadvantage, but you can still
Oh.
make them.
Damn. Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's a damn good
Okay.
ability I picked
That's-
up.
That's a really good ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mortar's going to go, all right, big man. Pulling out the real cards here. Mortar then kind of puts a hand up to his temple and he's going to point it at Romulus and he's going to cast Mind Spike
Okay.
at 3rd level.
That is a
solid.
intelligence save, if I remember correctly.
No, it's a wisdom
Well,
save.
fuck me,
Oh,
I
is it?
guess.
Wisdom save?
DC 15 wisdom saving.
Ah, okay.
That's what it says on my.
Yeah,
sheet.
no, that's fine. That's what it says now. That's what it is. So, go ahead and roll for me, please, Romulus. DC 15. Or...
Incredible. 18.
Ooh, okay.
So, takes half
Went
damage.
from
Just
nat
do for me.
ones to.
Yeah. This is Romulus going, I'm getting real tired of your bullshit. So
Okay.
that is 4d8 psychic damage,
Yep, but that'll be halved because
Um,
they succeeded.
and that'll be halved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could still be a really solid chunk of damage. Or not.
Oh, it's average. 15 psychic damage, half to 7.
Okay. 7 points of psychic damage.
On top of that, Chris, can I
Mhm.
throw in my extra source on this?
I'll allow it.
Oh no, actually, no, I can't, sorry. No, I can't just yet. I'm not gonna just yet.
Not going to just yet? Okay.
No, not gonna just yet. And then Mortar is going to Weapon Frenzy, and he's going to, as he kind of does that, realizes it's gonna take, he goes, damn, you got him resilient, big man. It's good to see. He might be if he's finally in a fight, and Mortar's going to fan the hammer with disadvantage.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, hold on. Didn't you reckless?
No.
not last turn.
No, it's just because
Because you were restrained.
because
so I
you're
didn't have
restrained.
Oh, of course you didn't. Okay, here we go. Disadvantage.
First one will
Oh,
miss.
that sucks. Okay,
to. That is a
that's
miss.
14 total.
Mhm.
Okay, second one.
Oh my god!
Man, these double low rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
As you fire,
Mortar's just kind of there like, oh boy.
Yeah.
He's like running out.
as you fire
no.
the first shot, Romulus, you in this moment kind of turn, huffing in the direction as the mind spike goes off before the 2 shots from the fanned hammer go off. The first one you bat away with your horns, the second one you cut out of the air with your stagger as you begin to charge towards him. Go ahead and roll me a strength save for the fire rune at the end of your turn there, Mortar.
I'm right here, big man. Don't hold back now just because I'm pretty.
That'll do
Yes!
it.
That's an 18!
Okay, the
Also,
fire.
then kind of like just for dramatic flair, just steps back and it dissipates, and he's like, "Come on."
Okay, go ahead and roll me for your blink.
Come on, it'd be so funny if it didn't go off.
Oh, that would be actually, yeah.
No.
Oh,
As you
It
step,
doesn't-
as you step backwards, kind of like, okay, come on, Blink, you gotta help me out here. As you step backwards, the chain breaks, and you're like, yes, and then you look around, you're like, wait a minute.
Oh no!
No. It's like, yes, no.
So, Romulus, it's your go. You see Mortar standing there, celebrating that he's free.
I believe Mortar is only 30 feet away from me.
Correct.
I am.
Chris.
Mhm.
Chris, you know what's going to happen here.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Speak
I am going to. I'm going to Giant Smite.
Okay.
I'm going to get right up close, within 5 feet, because reasons.
Okay.
Mortar's just looking up at Romulus right now. His left eye is just sparking with purple, and he's just like, "Come on, big man, bring it your best."
And I am going to. I'm going to Reckless, and I am going to Great Weapon Master, because, well, I'm going to be making 4 attacks.
Action
I just
surge.
really need 1 or 2 good ones to hit, you know?
Oh, by all means, yeah, go
All
for
right.
it.
So,
Go for it.
first
Just stands there
attack.
and braces himself.
First attack. Indeed. Let me just get get that out of the way. Let me get those. Lovely. Come on. Give me 1. That is a critical hit on a 19.
That is a critical
Here
hit
we
on a
go, here
19.
we go.
So let's get all these dice in here.
Just in slow motion, I see Stagger making its way towards my head. I'm like, that's gonna hit me in the head. Yeah, that's gonna hit me in the head. It's like, this is gonna hurt, isn't it?
Well,
Yes,
that's
it
a
is.
lot of 1s and 2s to reroll, so...
Oh boy.
oh.
Okay, so
in total, that
we are
is-
looking at 2,
What you got for me?
5, 3, 5. 32 plus 2 from Rage for 34, plus 7
Okay.
from normal, so that's
From
41, and then
Plus-
plus 10 from Great Weapon, or 8 from Great
It's
Weapon
only
Master.
8.
So, So 49
49
points of slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still standing, but I like the idea. What does it look like as you hit me with this?
I think so. Stagger, as I understand, is a half blade. A half blade.
A half blade, yeah.
I thought it was
So-
a hammer for some reason.
No,
It does
Stagger.
give off hammer vibes sometimes.
Yeah, Stagger is a haft blade, which, for all intents and purposes, think of like a thin, thinner
like
and
a
longer.
Zweihander with
yeah,
a bigger handle.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Zweihander with a bigger handle. Yeah, it's meant for
Nice,
large
okay, I'm with you.
creatures.
Mm.
Oh, well, I'm honest.
So what happens here is this is a critical hit, so I think this has to be maximum efficiency.
Oh,
I am
put some
obviously
salt on it.
doing subdual damage to not kill you.
Oh,
So I
that's
think
already the case. Yeah.
I think what happens here is that this massive blade just seems to loom in your vision as Romulus swings it down, and the flat of the blade cracks against the side of your head, if possible, knocking your goggles a little bit askew.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon the lens is like cracks or something.
And the critical side of it is bringing the handle back up into your face.
Nice.
So given the old 1-2 type situation. Right, I believe my next attack is an auto hit.
Yes, it is. So just
It
go
is,
ahead and
yeah.
roll damage.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'll just remove that. So
Kind of like the idea that Mortar's like airborne, like for this follow up, like because it's an auto hit, you
tragic.
can just hit him straight away.
So this still has Great Weapon Master on it, and
Yep. So
what
9 plus 17
Mm-hmm.
puts that at 26 points of damage to you, Mortar.
Mm-hmm.
Mortar is out.
You're out.
That
Okay.
is minus 16 of my health. I had 10 hit points remaining after that crit.
In this moment, I'll say with that first strike doing a significant amount of damage, you feel Stagger almost guided into the second attack as you leave a... I'll say in this moment for the flare, the attack where it would usually hit, you swing it down but bring all of your effort in to stop it from cleaving Mortar's head off as it stops just at the edge of the neck, drawing a trickle of blood as the fight is over.
So obviously, because it doesn't actually cut into him, I'm going to say that Mortar is still conscious.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I
Thank
think
you,
then
appreciate that.
I think what happens is like I've brought it down, and I kind of get the sense that Mortar is on the ground at this point a little bit, like either on his knees or on his back or something.
Mortar's on his knees without a doubt. He's just there like breathing heavily, bleeding profusely from everywhere. And he's just kind of there with like a really dazed looking grin on his face. He looks like, and he's just looking at you like, woo!
So the blade of Stagger is like against your neck, and Romulus is just sort of holding it there, and just sort of like gets down on his haunches and sort of like leans there holding it. Good fight. Let's not do that again, all right?
Mortar puts a hand on Romulus's shoulder and says, "Not a chance. Next time, I'm kicking your ass." Woo! And he falls on his back.
Castor puts out a hand to you,
Yes,
Kirv.
I wish you
Yeah,
the best
I
of luck
pass
with
over the
that.
money.
Okay, he takes the money and puts
Mortar
it in his
kind of-
pouch.
Mortar,
How much of an asshole do I want to be here? I look at the little armband thing.
Yep.
I think you might want to get that washed off before giving it back. And I'm just going to like stand up and like sort of like stretch my shoulders out a little bit, like do the arm curl thing, and then right, time to go shopping. And just passes through the the sand barrier.
Oh, the barrier
Mortar's
wasn't
still
up for
laying on
this.
his-
Castor,
okay. well,
Castor wasn't going to
fuck off.
bother putting up a barrier. He didn't need to stop any of you.
respect. Mortar is going to, as he's kind of laying there, kind of pats his shadow. His shadow comes out. It's a copy of him, and kind of gives him a hand to get up. And he helps himself up using his shadow spawn. And he's going to kind of dust himself off, high five himself, and he's going to kind of walk off. He's like, "Okay, notes for next time. Don't fuck up your shots." And then his shadow is going to start scribbling these in a little shadow notebook before putting them away and jumping back into his shadow.
Oh,
And Mortar's
man.
going to walk. He's going to walk holding the bandana. And he's like, he's going to hold it up anyway. He lost so thoroughly, but he's like, this ain't going to break me. I've literally died and stared into the fucking void. You think this guy's going to kick me down? Fuck no.
I mean, would
cast
you
a
like to refer back to the moment where I did literally to kick you down?
Hey man, I'm still standing, aren't I?
You wouldn't be if I hadn't chosen not to.
Yeah, well, that choice, man. That choice. Just saying.
God, bro needs to pick his
Mortar,
fight.
Mortar walks away from another. Definitely, he should have died.
Castor kicks off the backboard. I was rooting for you. That's a shame. And
Do you want
wanders
to hear
off.
my favorite little trick that I've picked up, Chris, that I realize should technically work according to the rules as written?
Go for it.
Runic Shield specifically states, when another creature you can see within 60 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your action to force the attacker to re-roll the d20 and use the new roll. It does not say that the attacker cannot be me.
On the first bit of that. When another creature you can see. So another would specify that
Yes,
not you.
Another creature you can see is hit by an is hit by. That's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was targeted by. That's unfortunate. Oh well.
No, it is. Unfortunately, where
I
it
guess
is.
I can only use it protectively.
Oh, that's a shame. Only able to
Very
use
rude.
it on your allies when, in the description
I
it says
know,
you learn
what
to
a
invoke
shame.
your rune magic to protect your allies.
I'm protecting him from himself, Chris.
There is no protecting Mortar from himself. He is
That
his
is-
own worst enemy.
That is an interesting point, though.
Really?
In this PvP fight, you could have used Runic Shield to re-roll your own to hit.
Mm.
I think that's what you were saying. Wasn't it?
No, he meant an
It is-
attack against him.
Mm,
Oh,
mm-mm.
interesting.
No, I meant an attack against Mortar, but there's no point in it because I'd already. It says I have to hit rather than target.
Oh,
it-
right, yeah. So it's mainly to.
So I was thinking of doing
Yeah.
exactly what you were thinking. I read it the same way,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
now I realise it wouldn't work.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Unless
But it
you
does
want
mean
to
that
be
if you
economical with
Unless you
the
really need
need
the
that,
crit
a crit,
finish.
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Which for you
So if it's
isn't
like
bad
something-
because it's a 1 in 10. So
that is true. That's not a terrible idea.
Keep
like,
in mind that it-
logistically.
it is an ally is the main thing. So it only really works in this one PvE or PvP scenario.
Well, it says that's just the flavor text though that it's you learn to invoke rune to protect your allies. It just says when another creature you can see within 60 feet. Because
I suppose,
theoretically,
yeah,
I could do this on anyone if I wanted to.
that's
Be
true.
like, runic shield, our greatest enemy for funsies.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
I mean, you crit on a 19. If you have advantage as well, that's like
Like a-
nearly
Yeah.
1 in
Your
5
odds.
to crit.
Yeah.
Yeah, your odds go
It's-
really, really high.
That could be quite interesting. Like there is a weird situation where this is like functionally good, but it's only really useful in situations where I'm like, there is no way we come out of this with a win unless I crit.
Yeah, which is very, very rare. But yeah.
Mm.
Which,
Anywho,
I mean, is fair. If you're using an ability that's clearly intended to be defensive to attack,
Hmm
I feel like there ought to be pretty
I'm fine with that.
hard limits on that. But
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's one of those. At the end of the day, you're using a defensive ability for offense, which I'm okay with because at the end of the day, it could go horribly wrong. You could roll a natural 1 because you only re-roll 1d20.
Yeah, true. And
So
could
it turns
just
your advantage into a flat roll because it's a single dice. So it means that
Yeah.
if you reckless, it doesn't matter. It
Like-
becomes a flat 1 in 10.
statistically, I've got more of a chance of getting a crit, but I also have no guarantee that I'll actually hit.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a
It's a weird
50-50
one.
on that one.
But
I think-
regardless,
I think as Mortar's walking away, if I may,
I'm just gonna
he
go up
kind
to
of.
cut to...
No, please, after you.
No, after you. After you.
Okay, I was just gonna say Mortar's kind of like Romulus was being a shit about it, like in terms of go and watch the thing, and Mortar's like, actually, that is something I probably should do. And he basically kind of like limps off the stadium, just kind of eyes forward. He's still got that grin on his face, but there's definitely some pent up resentment there for sure. Like he was like, I know I could have beaten him, but somehow he just the way he fights is just. I need to lock in and learn how he fights because I ain't losing to him again. And he's going to, as he kind of does that, he's reflecting on the fight, and he's like, "It's weird. Like usually pain makes me stronger. Usually I benefit from this kind of thing, and I was hoping to awaken that and see how and give that for a test drive without snap at the wheel." And he kind of looks down at his forearm on his wrist where he has carved the symbol of the tear in the triangles into his skin, and it's scarred over after he's cure wounds it. And he goes, "Okay, so getting to that level doesn't trigger the ability. I'm going to need to try something else." And he'll pull the sleeve back down, and he's going to keep walking forward, holster his weapon, and just limp away.
Alright, you go back to your room. Romulus.
I'd like to go up to what was the name? Cutler?
Gaster.
Esther.
Casper. There it is. My brain's gone today.
That's all right.
Ill, yeah. So where's my cut?
Time.
I saw the betting.
And
I'm gonna-
pardon?
It's cut out.
You're cutting out.
Wait, what was I actually cutting out? Or
Yes,
is this
you
him
were.
being.
Yeah, you were-
No, you were actually cutting out.
I thought he was just playing coy.
Huh? What?
Yeah, I saw you betting. How much did you get?
Not as much as I'd like, but what can I say? Kind of puts his hands up. Sure. and passes you a gold piece.
Thank you. And I'm going to hand it back to him and say, now, I need some assistance, and I think you could provide it for me.
Oh, do tell.
Do I think Castor knows this city? Better than I do, at least.
Roll me an insight check.
I'm good at these.
Yeah. So just calculating it now.
That is a fairly solid 17.
Okay. He got a 26. He gives off the air that he knows a lot more than you suspect he might, but it's worth a shot.
All right, well, I am needing to locate some particular stores, and I would rather no one else find out about it. So,
Oh, I
seeing
see.
as you certainly know this place better than I do, I would appreciate some assistance.
Got some pent-up tension and a stand. Gives you a nudge
Would
on
you
the
like me
shoulder.
to leave?
Kirv, you didn't hear that. No, not that kind of store. Something much more uncomfortable to talk about around others. Come with me.
He looks at Kirv and then
and-
looks back at you and is like, there's something more uncomfortable than sex? Yeah. And wonder...
Clearly you're doing it
Also,
wrong.
does that mean I heard the one gold thing?
Yes, it does.
Oh,
I assume it was like way more than that, but I wasn't paying attention.
Like a
It was 5 platinum.
a curve will growl, but not push.
Yeah, that's fair.
What can I say?
Hey, look, I'll
He won fair and square. I mean, he not fair and square, but you know, he won.
The party making money. I
So-
mean, me making money.
It's up to you, Chris, whether you
Okay.
would like me to send this message to you privately or whether you'd like to move into another room, because this
Ooh.
is a very personal thing for Romulus.
I will say send it to me message-wise. Because I think what we'll do here is we'll say that you go shopping, you're able to find what you're looking for the most part. I'll let you know if there's any complications with that, but Castor does know the city well, so he will help with that. Meanwhile, Mortar, you wash off the bandana, you bring it back, give it
Curve
to
would
Kirv.
like to go up and see Mortar. I think
He's in his room.
is that not
Yeah, Mortar's
possible then?
current. You can if you want. Mortar's always got. The concept of privacy doesn't really. His door's open like a crack, so it's open, and he's currently getting back. He's currently kind of sat down at his shadow. The shadow spawn he summoned is currently like bandaging him as he's kind of taking time to cast cure wounds on certain areas, specifically his face. Like his face is so messed up under the mask that he's just there holding his jaw, just kind of sitting there. But it doesn't look like he's necessarily thinking about the fight. He's looking at the blackboard with the names. And yeah, that's kind of what he's doing. He's just sitting there. He's kind of got all of his armor off. He's down to kind of bare bones, just like underclothing, and he's just bandaged to shit.
Do you need a healing spell?
Oh hey, yeah, definitely. If you go on the spare, and he'll kind of start to try to stand up, and then his shadow will help him stand. And he'll go, I'm just letting your bandana soak for a minute. Turns out blood's quite hard to get out of clothing. Not that I've ever tried. It's just kind of stuck around.
Staining will make it cooler. And
that's
Curve
what
will
I
do
said.
lay on hands for what 15?
I will absolutely take 15. That puts me to 16.
Damn.
As
You
he
put
just
up
kind of
a-
stands. Go after you, please.
You put up a hell of a fight out there.
Yeah, that'll show him. You should have seen the other guy. And he'll kind of
Romulus
like
walks
laugh
past.
painfully.
She did.
He'll kind of just laugh to himself and kind of wince. Holy shit. Man can fight.
Yes, he can. But
Yeah.
so can you.
I can tango when I need to. But yeah, nah, it's that felt good. I haven't experienced that kind of a rush for a while. Oof.
Yeah, my older sister, Charge, she was always the fighter. It's interesting being able to see more of that world, I guess, since coming here.
It's a popular thing to do. If you can fight, then you're strong. And in this group, you need to, I don't know, be able to defend yourself, especially with the company that we're typically going up against. So it pays to know how to throw hands every now and again.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I actually, I may have gotten a little caught up in the fight, but I completely forgot the main reason I was hoping to get kind of one-on-one with Romulus, and he's going to point to the name on the blackboard, the Ice King. And he's going to go, I don't know whether or not that's going to be a problem or not. I wanted to get his opinion on it, but guess I got caught up in the excitement and the rush.
I don't think Romulus puts anyone above Cat. If the Ice King is a threat to her, that's
Gonna get
Romulus will do
complicated.
something about it.
I don't know. The heart can do weird things, from what I've seen at least. You know, you do whatever you can for that person, and sometimes it can skew your priorities a little bit. So I'm hoping that our, relatively strong friend who just beat the shit out of me, I'm hoping that whatever's going on there is not going to cloud his judgment when the time comes. I want to maybe do a bit of digging on him personally, Ice King. I want to make sure that there's no threat to Cat before they become even better, bedfellows than they already are.
Kirv kind of smirks at that. She says, I agree. I think we need to look into what the Ice King's all about, but trust me when I say I don't think there's anyone Romulus loves more than Cat.
Guess we'll see. The trial will be the real test. I don't doubt that he loves Cat. But guess we'll see.
You really don't trust him?
I find it hard to trust someone who doesn't take me seriously. I was deadly serious about throwing hands with him. Deadly serious. All smiles and laughs. Absolutely. But when I set my mind to something, I'm deadly serious about it. And I don't like not being taken seriously by someone. Especially him. He's got a real sarky way about him that just gets under my skin a little bit. But so do I. So who am I to judge? At the end of the day, we've all got our own quirks, haven't we? We just learn to live with them and kind of just muddle on through together. Because that's what family does, I guess.
I tried to take people as they are.
Easier said than done. But yeah. Maybe I'm being too hard on him. But I can't shake the coincidence of us meeting the Ice King and then coming here and he's coming to this trial. Like, something doesn't line up here. There's I can't shake the feeling that there's something about this guy that we need to watch out for.
We'll keep an eye.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Romulus take a fair few wounds, but I've never seen him take a wound to the heart properly before, in the emotional sense. Be curious to see if he can bounce back from it as quickly as he can from my hits. Yeah. Just feels like things are moving a little too quick. Everything's in motion very, very fast. We have a moment of calm and then we're thrown back into a storm of just stuff.
Yeah,
Trying to
I
get
can
out of it.
attest to that one.
Tomorrow I'm going to see about doing some recon, I think. I want to try to push to get to the port as quickly as possible, and then maybe we can try to dig up something.
Sorry, I got distracted by the chat going on.
Oh, you're fine.
You know, it'll be interesting to do a bit more of Battle of the Minds tomorrow, rather than Battle of the Fists. Supposedly, that's what I'm good at, but we'll have
I
to
love
see.
the mind.
Maybe not Battle of the Mind, more like Battle of the Mouths. Ugh, no, why did I say that?
Well, there's 17 of them, so you have your work cut out for you. I have to say. Imagine, that's okay. The Battle of the Mouths of the Dwarves is just going to end up with you having a very hairy mouth. Anyway.
Fuck's sake.
Anyway.
God, that
I'm
takes me
gonna
back
try
to
to
blustering. What?
I'm gonna try to sleep this off and hey, during the fight, you didn't see anything weird happening with my shadow or anything, did you? Nothing out of the ordinary that you noticed while I was fighting, especially when I got hit specifically?
Can I do a check for that?
Roll me a history check.
Oh. 17.
17. There were moments when it moved oddly, but you suspect that might be just because of the fire rune being in place and kind of messing with the shadow. You're not entirely sure. It's hard to say in the kind of the flurry of the moment. I mean, the fight itself took about 20-30 seconds. It was a relatively quick fight.
Nothing too peculiar. But with the fire, it was difficult to tell, really. Were you what do you think was going on?
Well, typically in situations where I get really badly hurt, you know, whether it's death or, you know, or eaten as much as I did, usually something happens. Usually there's a trigger. There wasn't a trigger. And I'm trying to figure out why. But I think it might be connected to this, and Mortar will roll up his sleeve and show you the symbol. I'm trying to figure out what this is, because I need every weapon at my disposal. If we're going into this shitstorm of a world with so much stuff coming at us, I need every tool I can get. And if anything, that's fight with Romulus has proved to me that I'm nowhere near capable enough yet to be at my full peak, at my full strength, and I need to keep climbing. He'll kind of roll up his sleeve and just kind of cross his arms, just as his shadow kind of finishes, like, I don't know, sewing up one of his like wounds.
Kirv sort of went to reach to hold his wrist, but as he pulls down the sleeve, she sort of steps back and says, "What looks like a scar."
Yeah.
Did someone
You,
else do that?
No.
So you
It's from when apparently it was from when I went AWOL a little while ago in that town where Cat transformed and I was not myself. This symbol was apparently given to someone and it drove them completely mad, apparently. But apparently I did that, which means somehow I can awaken that power and I can, well, with any luck, control it with time and practice. I was hoping that during that fight, I don't know, somehow I was going to tap into a reservoir of power and use it, but maybe the fight wasn't intense enough. Maybe I need more.
you were trying to trigger the other guy?
In a way. Almost, I need to reconcile with him. As much as he's dangerous, he's still a part of me that I need. Without him, I don't have this. He shows Black Scorpion. I don't have my powers. I don't have anything if he wasn't there. I need to reconcile with him and come to an understanding which benefits us both. But I don't know his motives. I don't know his mind. And last time we spoke, I spiraled. I'm stronger now. And I think I might have the fortitude to maybe take him on.
Don't you lose a limb when he takes over? Like, that's his price, right?
Is any cost too great to protect people you care about? If you saw Cat or Vinny or anybody of our little team, you saw them dying there and you had the opportunity to maybe do something about it, you had this power, would you do whatever it took to tap into it in order to save them?
That's not my point. Well, so if Snap took over during that fight, what were we meant to do?
I don't know. I was counting on a few more people being there, but I guess we're lucky they didn't happen then.
I get what you're trying to do here. It's this thing that has got a certain amount of control of you, and you don't know what it is. I can't imagine.
I
And
was
I don't-
hoping to, yeah, sorry, I'll be
No. She was kind of stuttering.
Well, I was hoping to speak to the old man about the symbol. He seems knowledgeable about all things arcane. I was hoping I could get some answers from him before we left, but right now, I think we need to prioritize Cat. I think me throwing more complications into the works is only gonna fuck things up. So I'll wait until we're done. Then I'm going for answers.
I know Cat is the priority right now, but don't throw yourself into dangerous situations without talking to us.
I'll try to be a little more upfront with what I'm thinking about. Just feels a lot of the time like I'm not taken seriously. I'm still the new kid. I'm kind of getting real sick of it.
That fight wasn't just about trying to get Snap, was it?
No. That fight was making a point. Just making a point that it doesn't matter. You know, I've bled for this group, I've died for this group, and I'm still the joke. And that's my way. It's the only way I know. Fighting against odds which are insurmountable. And afterwards, no witty repartee, he just walked away. Because all I am is dust. And just like dust, I'll blow away on the wind someday. And if all of you guys will continue, but nothing happened. That's what I've observed after all this time of being here. I'm not the most intelligent guy, but I know what I see. My eyes don't lie.
No.
No. But I'm done not being taken seriously. You understand how that feels?
Kirv has to take a minute to try and think things through, decide what to do about this, how to respond. Yeah, no. Obviously, I know to not be taken seriously. At home, especially. But I don't think it's the same as with you. I think there's a reason people didn't take me seriously. The same reason I'm here doing this. Apparently fighting a war. I don't matter. At the end of the day, what matters here? And if I listen to you, is that enough? Or do you need to be able to kill Romulus? Will that be enough?
Kill Romulus. What will that achieve? Cat will have one less dad. The group will be one less heavy hitter. It's not about Romulus specifically. Romulus in my mind was the biggest obstacle I could think of that I needed to stand in front of and throw a punch at. I don't care if the obstacle itself doesn't take me seriously. But everyone in this group needs to know my resolve. You need to know I'm not fucking around. And I'm serious. This first time in a long time I have something to fight for. I want to get to the bottom of this trial with Cat. I want to conclude what's going on with Vinny. I want to find his companion who got away from us under those catacombs. I want to figure out what's going on with you in this war. I want to fight alongside you in that. You're not alone with that. And I want to figure out what the hell's going on with Romulus' fucked up family. So, guess we'll see. While you guys are while you guys are the faces of this group, the members, I don't mind doing my bit quietly in the background, at least for now.
At this moment that you hear a knock on the door.
The shadow will open it.
Theomar's standing there. Cat and Vinny have returned, and once Romulus and Castor are back, we will be teleporting out of here, so grab anything that you want, eat up before we leave. We're going to be heading to Gomuldur.
Romulus's trip doesn't take terribly long, because the item he needs is not the most
Yep.
difficult to locate, as long as there's someone there that has some idea of where to find it.
Yep, and just needs to have a little bit of work for it to be all ready, so
Appropriate.
that'll be all good.
The only thing is
Sorry.
that...
Sorry.
after
no,
you.
after you, please.
No,
Okay,
after you.
I was just going to say, if Theomar's here, I think after what Kirv said regarding you got to also prioritize yourself, Mortar, I was going to kind of look at Kirv and say, do you mind if I have a minute?
Sorry, as in him and yeah. Of
Yeah,
course.
me and Theomar.
Um,
I'll put
kind
just
of
as Kirv
silent-
kind of goes to as Kirv kind of goes to leave, Mortar, I was going to put a hand on Kirv's shoulder and just say thank you.
She kind of half nods and leaves the room.
Mortar's going to look at Theomar, and he's going to roll up his arm, show him the scar, and he's going to go,
So you calling him back into the room to do this, by the way? Because he just knocked on the
Oh,
door,
I'm sorry,
didn't
I
walk
thought he
in.
said
He just mentioned that they'll be leaving soon.
I'll follow. Yeah, I'll follow him into the corridor, and I'll say, Theomar, I think. There's no words. Mortar's going to roll up his sleeve and show him the scar, and he's going to say, I need to know if you recognize this mark. I need to know what it means.
Personally, I'm not 100%. I know someone who might, if it's what I suspect it is.
What do you suspect?
That it's a religious symbol.
We went to a library, and Mortar will pull out Black Scorpion. Apparently there were runes on this thing. I found it when I was really young.
May I? He puts out a hand.
I wouldn't recommend touching it if I were you. It does not like to be touched.
Very well.
But I will hold it out to him, but it's like just a warning. Like, it does not like to be touched.
Okay. There, I have some hit points for this.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Sorry, Gat. Oh no.
He kills her granddad. But, oh,
I was like, this guy surely like is gonna use like Mage Hand or something to like float it in front of him and he can do his stuff.
He
No,
doesn't have
alright.
Mage Hand.
Okay.
I need to quickly roll damage.
Oh no. I am so sorry.
Okay. He holds the gun for a moment before kind of releasing it and dropping it to the ground before grabbing his head as he takes 74 points of psychic damage.
Holy fuck.
He rolled a natural 1 on his save, so I doubled the amount of damage he took.
No.
If I'd rolled
Oh,
higher,
no.
he would be dead.
Oh no.
That could have one-shot him.
Incredible. Which
So,
means
yes.
Oh, that
As
would
soon
I
as
could
it
have
goes-
one-shot him if I hit him enough.
As soon as he goes down, Mortar kicks the weapon aside and is going to go and try to support him.
In this moment, as he's kind of holding the side of his head, you feel that there's this moment where you watch as he pushes his, like, Theomar pushes his fingers as close as he can to his temple, and you watch as there is almost this radiating magic as he does so, and he grips something and begins to pull. You watch as there's almost this thin silver line as he begins to pull it out, and as he finally does so and kind of snaps it away from his head, there is a moment of almost clarity for him. Interesting. Well, it's certainly dangerous, that's for sure. Tried to leave an imprint
You
in my
okay?
mind. I'm
You are
fine.
bleeding from everywhere.
I'll be fine. And he otherwise wipes the blood. I'll be fine. You've been carrying this thing with you?
Yeah, since I was a kid.
You're stronger than you look. And Thamar stands, kind of brushes himself off. You and Kat have more in common than you know. And he walks away, almost as if ending the conversation and needing some time to think.
Mortar's very kind of frustrated by this, almost like, you know, he was like, oh, I have a notion of what it might be, and he hasn't told him. And I think that as kind of Thamar kind of rounds the corner, Mortar kind of keeps his cool for a minute, and then I think he punches a hole in the wall with his metal arm.
Mm-hmm.
Just one burst of just anger, maybe like dents his knuckles or something, and he'll just kind of grit his teeth. He'll go, shit, fuck. He'll holster Black Scorpion, and he's gonna finish cleaning up, and he's gonna go downstairs to see the others.
Okay. You walk past. You note an individual otherwise leaning up against the wall not far from where you'd otherwise made a little bit of the commotion. And you see Castor there. Having some trouble?
You got a really annoying habit of showing up when you're not wanted. You know
I
that?
know. Oh yeah, that's the point.
Okay. What's your deal?
In what manner?
What was sneaking around? The master runs this place, right?
Yeah.
I don't like being spied on.
Hmm.
And I don't like dishonesty.
Well, I don't do it for him, if that helps. And I don't do it for anybody
No.
other than myself. It's just fun.
That makes me more uneasy.
Well, you do you. At the end of the day, I'm just here to have a good time, not a long time. And he stretches and kind of kicks off of the wall, goes over and looks at the or otherwise steps close and kind of looks at Black Scorpion and the holster. If it's enough to put Thamar on edge, it's certainly something.
Fancy having
And
a go yourself?
he makes a sleight of hand check.
Oh,
Oh boy.
So that's a 20.
Mortar's gonna deck this guy.
if
that's a
Castor's
20.
Back, does that mean Romulus
That means you're back, yeah. So you're in the main room,
that-
and Thamar seems to be giving the talk down on how this teleportation is going to work, and how all of you will need to be in the circle when it gets there. I would say you note that Castor's off to one side, kind of just looking at Mortar, and they're kind of almost face to face, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to hear what's going on before you watch as Castor kind of quickly whips the gun from Black Scorpion's holster and kind of spins it on his fingers.
Huh?
Mortar looks at him.
Fascinating.
I'm going to do an insight on this guy.
Go for it.
Something's not right. He picked up Black Scorpion. Something is not right here.
Yeah, he
Mortar's
did.
heckles are like rising.
There's no
Uh,
reaction from him for him taking any form of damage, it would seem.
Oh, I've been disconnected apparently. I have a +4 to insight.
Okay. I will quickly roll. That is a 10 total. 6 plus 4.
Okay. So,
You note that as he spins it in the air, you almost look at him like, oh, he's going to die, followed by a moment of nothing happens to him. The same as when it happens to Cat. And he spins it before kind of holding it in motion, kind of looks over it. Huh. I'll admit, it's intriguing. and he's going to sleight of hand. That is an 18. So he
Mortar's gonna
slides it back into the holster.
tackle him, but yeah, Mortar's tackling him.
Go ahead and make me. I'll say this will be. Make me an unarmed strike. Yeah, you know what, that works. Let's do an initiative roll for this.
If he rolls higher than me, then he dodges.
Okay. I got a dirty 20 on his initiative.
Is there any
I
chance?
got a 23.
Okay.
Wow. I was going to ask if there's any chance to intervene. I can't beat a 23.
No. In this moment, as he slides
Usually
Black Scorpion into your holster, you deck him across the face. And Hearn at this point, who's...
My goal is to tackle him to the ground, and I'm raising a fist above, like saying, "Who the fuck are you?"
He kind of comedically puts up his hands in almost this pretending to be shy and weak characteristic as he looks at you and goes, "You know I'm Caster." Hearn otherwise looks over and goes, "What's going on? Caster, what have you done or taken?"
He can hold this weapon. He can hold the weapon.
Romulus just leans over. To clarify, people can't do that normally.
Thamar nods.
He knows.
I know.
Well, Hearn didn't.
No, that's fair. Hearn doesn't. Cat
So
and
that makes 3
Yeah.
now.
Thamar looks and goes, "Caster, can you stop being annoying, please?" And you watch as the caster you're holding on to disappears. And you see standing against the wall, leaning up, still against it, is Caster as he goes, "Oh, fine. Just so you know, there's no real trick to holding it. I wouldn't be able to. I just wasn't the one holding it when that happened." He pats you on the shoulder.
I'm gonna grab his hand as he does that, and I'll
Mhm.
say, "Try that shit again. I'm gonna break every bone in your body."
Oh.
And I'll let go of him.
He pulls his hand away. "Sorry, boss. Just thought I was going to have some fun."
If you stayed here any longer, we would have.
Thamar looks to you and looks to Caster. "One fight in my hall is already enough for one day. Technically 2, but I would prefer it not be unsanctioned. As for you, Caster, please leave them alone. You know full well the situation that they're going through." "Yes, I know. And what you were talking about before? Do you want me to take Mortar to them so that you can have your time with the court as needed and he can see his specialist?" Looks to Mortar. "If you're going to keep eavesdropping, at least make yourself useful." "Yes."
All right.
Specialist.
Is
Take
it possible
try
for
and-
Romulus to grab Mortar before things separate out?
I'll say yeah, that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, you're all just going to be going outside and having teleportation circle cast, so...
That's fair, that's fair. Mortar. Come, let's have a chat.
And now really isn't a good time for me, pal.
I can tell.
Let's try
That's
this.
why I think it's important.
Make it quick. Got places to be.
Romulus is going to lead you a little bit away from everyone into a separate room. Is that okay?
Of course.
You are on edge after, I presume, your loss earlier. I think you need to talk about it.
What do you want to know?
I would indeed.
What would you like to know?
As I said, you're on edge. Do you know why?
Understood.
After you.
I just saw Theomar hold this, and he nearly died. Just like that. Powerful mage, apparently very high esteem. Nearly snuffed out like that. No one would have been the wiser except me. And then see this piece of shit hold it like it's nothing. And that scares me. Because very, very few people I've ever met are able to hold this weapon with no side effects. Pat being one of them, myself the other. Now there's this joker. Better yet, he seems to be spying on us. I've caught him twice now. I would say watch yourself. Not everything's as it seems. But
No.
that would mean that you would have to take my word seriously for a change. Mortar will kick the door open and walk out.
Ooh. Does Romulus take that? Romulus is going to try and yank you back. To be specific, grab the back of your collar, pull you back, and then sit you down in a chair before slamming the door. I presume this is going to be contested.
Yeah, I think in the state Mortar's in right now, he is fight or flight. And right now, especially after his loss to you, and especially with
If he
everything going on
can't
with
flight,
Carter,
it's going to be fight.
it's going to be fight. 100%.
I'll say...
Just initiative again.
Here's what I'll say. Romulus, roll me an insight. And then, depending on your roll, I will let you choose whether you still want to follow up with this action. And it will be a contested athletics versus acrobatics, or... No, sorry, a dexterity saving throw. But there won't be any advantages or disadvantages, just flat rolls.
Okay.
That is a 22.
22. Do you still wish to go through with this, knowing that he is in a situation where he might just start hurting you if you try to stop him from leaving?
It is an interesting question, because on the one hand, I know for a fact that nothing is going to be resolved unless they talk things out. And I know that as a player, and Romulus knows that as a character. On the other hand, Romulus is not in the best of positions right now, and I as a player am aware that this is not the best way to do this, but it is the best time to do this, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just do a luck roll on it.
Okay.
Higher than 10, I'm going to do it. Well, sorry, 10 or lower, I'm going to give in and just be like, let him walk it off. 11 or higher, I am going to attempt this.
Okay.
I
2.
reach out, but then pull back my hand at the last second. I think Romulus is just going to call out. I took you seriously. That wasn't why you lost.
Sure felt like it.
Then that's something you need to come to terms with.
Mortar kind of shake his head, walk away. He's gonna make his way to where whoever was going to take him to see this specialist, because this is something he wants answered. He's had enough of being in the dark.
So right now, Theomar is setting up the teleportation circle outside. As you leave, you hear the sound of as you and Romulus leave, you hear the sound of the Magnificent Mansion door close, followed by the sound of many locks, and then the door kind of shrinks a little bit, as if reverting back to being a normal room. as you go outside. Theomar casting teleportation circle. As he does so, he points and you all kind of rush through the teleportation circle, one after another, and you feel this rush of energy followed by this extreme darkness. As you enter into what looks to be a large stone antechamber, you see that there are several of these stone statues that stand against the wall, walls, spears and shields held kind of ornamentally and carved in such. And you see that there are two dwarven guard who, as you teleport in, Theomar seems to walk forward, puts his hand up. They all nod and let you all go through. As you proceed up the stairs into Gomuldur further. Being underground is a unique sensation for most of you. It's not something you've commonly done. For some of you, like Mortar, this is more at home with all of you. As you rise up and enter the city proper, you all feel slightly on edge given what has just happened, given the nature of it all. And I think, given that being a relatively good stopping point, that is where we will stop for today.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So,
yay.
Oh, my word.
thank you everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed. We will be having next week off, but we will be meeting the following week. So, thank you all. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.